Hey everybody, Future Kyle here, popping in to kind of explain what you're about to listen to today. So, an old shipmate of mine, Matt Larrabee, heard the episode that Eric Mason and I did about my subservice. Matt served with me on the Alaska on Blue Crew, and he asked if he could come and do one of his own. So, in this episode, which you're about to listen to, Matt shares his journey from a high school quarterback in Southern California to volunteering for sub duty, surviving boot camp horrors like the penicillin shot, navigating the chaos of deployments. He's got some wild stories of near disasters, the camaraderie that kept us sane, how Navy's shaped his life post service, from earning multiple degrees to landing his dream career. So strap in because this is going to be a long one, but definitely worth the ride. Without further ado, let's get into it with Matt here. So I'm sitting here with my friend Matt. Matt and I served on the USS Alaska for I'm not sure how many deployments we actually did together, but I know we did refuel together. We did quite a bit of stuff together on that boat. So Matt heard the episode that Eric and I did about my journey through the Navy and volunteered to come and do one with us. And so I brought Eric back because he did such a fine job navigating the first one. I'm here because I got some questions that I want to ask. Matt was on the front of the boat and the back of the boat. We didn't really get to know too much about what they did. So actually, like a lot of this stuff is going to be new to me too.
Wait. It seems like a small space to be segregated.
We'll get into that when we once we get to service time here. So I'll let Eric kind of take things away, and I'll interject when I got something that it's burning in my mind to pop in with.
Yeah. Well, Matt, thank you, buddy, for coming on. I mean, Kyle and I really enjoyed our last conversation, and as we journey into this interview, as we go underway, whatever Navy people say, I want to start by saying, like, I'm ignorant. Like, I don't know your story. I don't know what it's like to serve. I never served. I have a lot of respect for people who have. But I think, in a way, I represent the public on just curiosity. I mean, 1% of the population is served at this point. I mean, we all grew up with grandparents who served, and that's fading away. So to be able to provide a facilitation of service members' ability to tell their story, I consider that a great honor. So please excuse my ignorance. Yell at me. Tell me, like, what are you talking about? Don't assume I have any actual
Not
knowledge.
at all.
I'd probably feel more comfortable running a nuclear power plant than being somebody working on a nuclear submarine. The finance department of the nuclear power plant, obviously.
Right.
Man, in hindsight, I don't know if I'm surprised we made it alive.
Right?
With some of the people that we served with and the stuff that goes on. So no, I'm happy to share my story, man. I'm in a position now where I do come in contact with a lot of people that ask it, so it's kind of cool, especially the sub force. It's always that, mysterious place.
We were chatting a little bit before this started too about how time kind of makes it better too, right? Like now that we're 20 years past from joining it, we look back on it with a different fondness that I think we would have if I would have grabbed you like day one of your first day out of the service.
Oh no, I was on the other side of that government blue line kissing it.
Right.
I was so done. I was ready to be out. I was so done.
I once had a retired MP tell me, he goes, you know what? I don't know, we might have to edit this out, but he said, he was talking about like how, you get fonder with time, especially hard things. And he says, everybody remembers a good meal. It's easier to forget the diarrhea.
No.
Like 11. I'm like, is that the life lesson? Do I have to write that down?
Not something, but I mean, it's something good to live by, actually.
Yeah, it is. So Matt, why don't we start with where are you from? Let's whatever you feel comfortable disclosing, right up to the point where you decided to join the Navy.
Yeah. So I grew up in Southern California, right outside of the Anaheim area in Riverside, California. And
Ducks fan.
Huge Ducks fan. So after high school, I was one of the guys. So I played high school football. I was the starting quarterback, but I was 5'9". I knew I was not going anywhere, although my mom built me up to think that I was. So college, I just thought I was going to be a shoe-in to go in and sign up and play on a team. Yeah. And it was, in a sense, just not for any of the colleges that I really wanted to go to. So I
Aw.
went to it was called the Spotlight Weekend at the University of Laverne. It's right outside of like Ontario, California.
Hmm.
And I went there, and they have these tour guides that are actually sorority people and frat guys. And he handpicked a few of us. He's like, "Hey, you, her." He's like, "Hey, you guys look like you like to party." I'm like, "All right, yeah, I do." And he's like, "Let's skip this thing. This thing's boring. Whatever. My frat's hosting a party." Long story short, I wake up the next day. My dad picks me up. I'm missing a shoe. He's on the bed with some lady, and I'm like, "Dude, I can't go to college. Like, I'll never pass." Like, so I started working at the local grocery store, and I was bagging groceries and worked my way up to the meat department within like the year. This is all within the year of leaving high school. And one of my other degenerate friends joined the Navy, and his mom invited me and my buddy over to watch his boot camp video.
Hmm.
And watching him march in there, and then when they pan in and you're standing at attention and everything, and I was like, this idiot is like, that's Jake. Like, there's no way that he's turned into that, right? And I was going to art, like, it was called RCC. It's Riverside Community College. Me and my buddy were stopping off at 7-Eleven, grabbing Captain Morgan, filling up Coke, going to class, and like just getting hammered in class. And it was
Right.
like maybe after my third failed class at that college, and I was done. I had to do something. So that video of him came at the right time, and he joined submarines, and so that's where
Huh.
my interest originally went. But he was like 6'5", and I'll save that for later in the story.
Jeez.
And I was kind of on the fence. My mom was all against it.
Really?
And yeah, oh man. In
Yours
fact,
too,
the
huh?
day of the recruiter, yeah, oh, yeah.
I had to
The day
convince
the
my mom.
recruiter, my mom punched him in the face. She's crazy. She's not here anymore, so I could say that. She's crazy, man. And he came to pick me up to drive him down to San Diego to go take my ASVAB. And she's like, "What are you doing here?" "I'm here to pick up your son and take him down to MEPS." And she's like, "Get out of my front door. He's not going. He's going to college. He's not going to the Navy."
Was your mom
It's like,
aware
oh,
that you were the
no
one
clue.
professor you were
Yeah.
going to was Captain Morgan?
No clue. No, my mom thought I was like this little angel kid, right? Or at least if she thought otherwise, she didn't tell me.
Yeah.
But her and I were like really button heads at the time. My mom was like all into my sister's life at the moment. She was in maybe like her sophomore year, and I'd already graduated. My sister's on the swim team, so it was
How
kind
old
of
were
like
you at this point, Matt?
I was 18. So
Okay.
yeah, I was 18 when I graduated, and it was like later that summer where I saw that video of him. And so I was on the fence for a while. I want to say it was like late summer when I saw that video. So I gave RCC another chance, gave it a couple more weeks, I guess. And it was the Ducks. It was 2003. It was the Ducks Stanley
Oh,
Cup
that was a good
final.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it the
And
Ducks.
and I believed in the Ducks, and I also like wanted to join the military. I'm one of those guys where you're like, all right, if I make this last shot, then I'm gonna win $1 million tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was like, if the Ducks win the Stanley Cup, like I'm gonna figure this out, man. I'm gonna be good. I was like, if they lose, I'm signing the papers tomorrow. Well, they lost, and I
Game
held true to that
7
because
too.
yeah, I know it was
That's like
brutal.
Jiggy won the
Brutal.
Conn Smythe that year, I think, too, right?
Yep.
The-
Oh,
yeah.
man, we were solid. And the only time we did win, I was underway riding
Yeah.
a stupid boat that wasn't even our own. So, still waiting to see that live and in person. So yeah, next day signed the dotted line, and then had to wait that 9-10 months before I deployed to boot camp.
So can you real quick, just for the listeners, this is something that Kyle has explained to me and a few of my military friends. So MEPS. So MEPS
Yeah.
is your medical evaluation, correct?
Yeah, that's where you do everything. You do your ASVAB. That's where they give you your score, and they kind of tell you like, hey, here's what you can do. And then that's where you kind of do that with the recruiter too, and you go over those jobs. When you go down to MEPS right before you deploy, I believe that's when you finally sign that dotted line saying,
That's when you take
yeah,
the oath,
I'm going in
too,
for
wasn't
that
it?
job. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So you take
you go down there like twice. You go down there to take your ASVAB. At least for us, we did. I never did it in high school because I was going to college and I was going to be in the NFL. So I wasn't one of those kids that signed up for the ASVAB and the free pizza
Right.
or whatever. So I had to drive all the way down to San Diego, which was about an hour and a half for us without traffic. So with traffic,
9
and
hours.
then yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then signed up, and then we had to wait those 9 months. So it was actually the time he went to pick me up to take me down there originally to do my ASVAB that my mom lost her cool on him
So,
and
like,
whatever.
was it like a cross? Was it like a jab? Like, what
It
the
was
punch
more
look? I'm very
like,
curious about this.
okay, picture this dude. He was like 6'8", Elmer
Okay.
Fudd. Like he looked just like Elmer Fudd, the goofiest, and he was from Alabama too, I believe. Yeah, the Roll Tide stuff was everywhere. And she was like, "You need to get out of here." And he kept just trying to be polite and say, "Oh, ma'am." And but my mom was a big lady, and she's crazy. It was kind of like a push in the face, but like repeatedly
Palm
until he
strike.
actually backed up. Yeah. And I
Palm
remember
striking.
him calling me and saying, "Hey man, your mom's crazy. I'm in the car. If you still want to do this, I'll wait for like 5 more minutes." And like I snuck out, or I don't even know if I snuck out, or we kind of had our little tiff and gave her the bird and took off. But I mean, she was half the reason I was leaving in the first place too. So
Did you guys ever
it
make
was,
up?
oh yeah, oh,
Yeah.
my mom became a harder dig it than I did when I graduated boot camp. First time I went home, it's like America threw up in my house, dude. American flag stuff everywhere. My son's a United States sailor. Like, it was insane. She flew out for the boot camp graduation, bought every Navy bumper sticker she could. It was ridiculous.
Oh
So,
man. Okay. Are we at graduation? Can I ask about that? Because that's something that my mom has gotten really upset at me about, is not remembering to tell this story. But she said that when she showed up, because she came to my graduation too. She came and picked me up, and then as we were getting ready to jump in, pile into the car, I stopped her. I was like, "Hey, can we take these guys? There's like 2 or 3 other friends that I graduated with in my group that didn't
mhm.
have any family there with them." And she apparently that had like a huge impact on her. She just never thought that there would be people at like this huge event in their life
Yeah.
and nobody be showing up for them. So what did that mean for you to have like your mom there showing up and supporting you? Like did it make an impact on you at that point in time, or did that come later?
uh, it, it came honestly like first or second week into boot camp because
Right?
I cried like a little girl that first night. You don't think you would. You think you're gonna be hard or whatever. But that first mail call came, and then
You get a
a lot of
letter.
people get their letters. Yeah, and then week 2, week 3, every single week I had one from her. Every
Oh,
single week I had one
That's
from her.
awesome.
that's huge.
Um, and then she gave my stuff out to everybody. So it was nice to have her. I was lucky enough that my mom came, my dad came, my sister came, and we even flew one of my friends out and she came. It was actually my buddy's girlfriend, because
Yeah.
he couldn't go, and she's like, "I want to go. I've never been to Navy graduation, whatever." Yeah, I was okay to see anybody, man. I was just
Right?
so happy to be done with it at that point because we were. I think my class was like one of the last 9-week boot camps because then they started having
Oh,
those
that was when they
people
went to the
running
10?
around. No, it went down to 6.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it was
Oh, that's the
expedited.
worst one to get. Oh man, to be
You
the
don't
last
remember
10 week.
that?
Wait, the Navy's only 6 weeks.
I remember when I
It was
left.
for I don't know if it was a trial period, but they were running like remember when you had to go to medicals like sometimes by yourself you get a little chit and you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
walked all on one side of the road or
Right.
whatever. At that point when they shortened it because everything was so compacted, these dudes were running from medical to
Right.
their ship and from training drills and
Ooh,
everything because they didn't have a lot of time built in for all that extra BS that we had to do with the running and all that. So they just jogged and ran everywhere. Whereas we
Jesus.
were marching most places.
Yeah.
I spent most of my time not even with the group.
Yeah, you were one of those 900 weird divisions.
Right.
We were told those people were weird. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, 900 division. Those people are weird, man. They all came in here to be musicians. They don't really want to be in the real
So
Navy. They just want to be musicians. So when I heard that you were in the 900, I was like, I
Yeah.
didn't know that normal
Right.
submariners are
Yeah.
not normal. I didn't know that you guys were able to do that. I never got.
It's
We were
only
never
because
told
that
that. It was
cycle
that or
was
medical people that got held back.
is the only reason why they picked me is because it was the flag cycle. If it had been a musical instrument cycle where they're drafting for, they wouldn't have given me a second look. So
So
I
you
can hold a
hiked
flag
back
and
in.
stand at attention. That's all they cared about.
One of the things I'm always
Restricts
curious about is
Yeah.
like motivation to join the Navy, and obviously I think this was around 2003.
Yeah, so I graduated 2003, signed that in October 2003, and deployed May of '04.
Did 9/11 play a factor in your decision to
It
join?
made me a little bit more patriotic in the sense. So obviously still in high school, and I was the quarterback, so I was the dude running out with the flag after that first football game afterwards. So I don't know, 9/11 was weird. So it wasn't like that played a huge role, but it made it more acceptable. There was a kicker on my football team. He was one of the first ones to join. He was a year older than me, so and I remember him sending pictures of him. He was one of those dudes riding the tanks all across Kuwait. Do you remember
Oh,
that
yeah,
when it was on
okay.
CNN for like
Yeah.
9 hours? They were just
Yeah.
so that was like, oh man, I know somebody over there. So for that time was big. That kind of resonated with me, but I didn't have military run in my family. My grandpa was in the Air Force.
Hmm.
My uncle served in Desert Storm, and then it's me. So there was nobody
Really?
else. And then my cousin has joined after. Then I had another cousin that joined, and then um, didn't make it through, got hurt, whatever. But that's it. And still
So
to this day, that's all.
why did you choose Navy out of the other choices? Was
Jake,
there?
so Jake did that when I saw his video. I was like, well, he went Navy. Um, honestly, I was the first one to die in Counter-Strike. I was the first one to die in paintball. Okay, we were in an active war at that time, and I needed to get away. And I knew if I was anything close, so I said, "How far can you send me away from war?" And of course, so it already negated. Well, actually, I did go to the army first because my best friend John at the time, not at the, I mean, he's still my best friend, but he wanted to go army because he was always the one shooting me and killing me, and always the one ending up in first place, right? But he was only 17, so he had to get his parents' signature,
Right.
so they wouldn't sign. They were well-to-do realtors or whatever, and they're like, "You're not going out to war. No way, hell no." So I was like, "All right, well, I'm not gonna leave," because we wanted to do the buddy program too
Yeah,
at the
they had
same
that thing
time.
where they'd send you together, keep you
Yeah,
like
so
deployed together.
August is when he turned 18. That's when I saw the I think that's when Jake left for boot camp too, was around that time. So
Yeah.
then that's when it kind of we got reinvigorated a few months later that October when we saw Jake's video, and then it was like, man, let's try the Navy. Let's go talk to them because Jake did it. He said he's doing submarine service, so let's go check it out. So I drove down there and I started talking to the dude, and that's when I was like, hey, I need somewhere as far away from bullets as possible. He's like, have you
We'll
ever
give you
thought
the
about
biggest
submarine?
bullets.
Yeah, right. He's like, have you ever thought about submarines? I was like, those things aren't even real, man. And he's like, no, they're real, and you get like a bunch of money, extra money if you join. I was like, really?
Wow.
And I
So
was like, well,
you
that's what
knew?
Jake.
You
Yeah, oh,
knew?
I knew. I knew. You
Ah.
didn't know?
No, not until prototype. That was the first point we had a chance to even pick.
Oh,
Yeah.
whether you went subs
Yep.
or surface.
Yeah.
Oh, so my field when I got my ASVAB score was like a 70 something. So they were trying to push the nuke thing,
Yep.
but I was like, nope. And even my
That
buddy Jake's
extra
like,
year
hey,
and a half.
dude, yeah, they're gonna try to give you this nuke thing. Don't do it. Blah blah blah. So I was like, what are the other ones?
Where's Jake?
Yeah.
God damn
Wait
it.
till we figure out where Jake went. So I go in my ASVAB and I'm a man merely by my genetic makeup and that I watch sports, but I cannot turn a wrench. I suck at that type of stuff, and like half the submarine service is that wrench turning stuff. So they had a submarine electronic computer field,
Mhm.
so it was still kind of a lottery. So we didn't know no, we just knew that we were either going to be a fire control technician, a sonar control technician, a nav, or a radio man. And so
Okay.
I was like, cool. They all seemed cool. Everybody obviously wants to be the fire control technician. We want to press the torpedo button.
Man,
Um,
radio I think would have been really freaking cool though.
well, now that you know what goes on in the
right.
submarine, radio and cook and storekeeper, bro.
Right?
Those are like the three to do.
Hey,
But
like, did people have to be explained to like the last time the U.S. fired a torpedo and anchor was like 80 years?
right. But this is why they get you when you're young, man.
Yeah.
You're stupid. You're like, oh, push that button. All right.
That you'll never do that. Nobody in the last 3 generations has done in their career.
Ever got to do.
Right.
So I signed up with that, and then I knew that it was going to be, of those 4 jobs. But then they threw money at you. They're like, and you get an $8,000 signing bonus. I was like, $8,000 to a 19-year-old? I have
The,
never
mi-
seen
the
that
$1
type of
million
money.
dollars.
Yeah.
100%. I was like, I'm gonna buy a house. I'm gonna buy a car. Like,
The sickest
So-
Xbox controller you've ever seen.
exactly. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna be on a submarine. Those things aren't even real. This is cool. Like, I can't wait.
What rate they give you?
So you don't even find that out until so you do the boot camp thing, you go to A school, and then
Oh, I
when
meant
you go
So
to
rate. I'm
A
sorry. I
school,
meant
that's
like E3, E4. Did they like guarantee you
oh,
like
so
any
no,
promotions?
I mean, if you did that stupid book that they give you,
N-
do you
wait,
remember
what is
that?
this
Did you?
stupid
No. What
book?
is
What
it? Okay.
is?
Yeah. I don't remember that at all.
So the delayed entry program, so when you sign, the Navy was everybody was gung ho at that time. So you had a delayed entry program. So
Yeah.
you sign, and they're like, okay, you can leave for the Navy for boot camp on this date. It was always like 9, 10 months out.
Yeah. It's so
During
they can
that
keep their
time,
stupid numbers. Really, they could send you whenever they
yeah,
want. They just
is that what it
yeah.
was? Oh,
Yeah. They have
see?
to hit a quota. So I got 6 this month already, so I'll send him out next month, so that way I hit my quota next month, and they just stack their books as
Yeah.
far down the line as
Yeah.
they can.
Let me interject right there. I'm saying anybody watching this that's thinking about joining, talk to the recruiter and then go talk to a veteran of that service before signing any book. Get the real deal. 'Cause they lie
Amen.
about everything, man. Everything. So,
So what was this
um,
book?
Yeah.
so you get a book and it had the Sailor's Creed in there. It had ranks of everybody in the Navy. It had the different services ranks. It had all that stuff about the Navy. How
Oh,
you tie a knot? Can you tie your neckerchief?
yeah.
And essentially, the delayed entry program is almost like being in the National Guard. You show up like one weekend or a couple weekends a month, work out with them. You practice your PRT type stuff, the mile and a half, and then
Marching,
you can get
tension
tested
drills.
on those things and signed off by your recruiter. Um,
Were you getting
but
paid
I
during this
did
period?
Nope.
no, not at all, dude.
No,
You
it's all
didn't get
volunteer.
paid. Yeah, this is all never gonna volunteer yourself.
That's what Navy stands
Voluntold.
for.
So you can go and you get it signed off, and if you get that whole book done, when you graduate boot camp, you get frocked to E3 or whatever. Not frocked, but you get advanced to E3.
Okay.
I didn't even want to go to school at that point, so I wasn't showing up on my. I didn't even show up for those workouts, dude. I didn't. When I showed up to leave for boot camp, I was like 12 pounds overweight. He's like, "Well, you'll lose it in boot camp." I was just drinking,
I
dude. I
gained
was
so
getting
much
it
in boot.
all in.
What
Yeah, I was.
one of my best friends is a retired Marine. And I remember he would go do the personal, what do they call it?
Physical readiness test.
Physical
Yeah.
readiness. Thank you. And he didn't have a phone at the time, so after I'd get off work, I'd drive down Newport Ave, which is one of the big long streets in Quincy, until I found him. And I'd pull over and he'd jump in the car and go like KFC or something. But it is one thing that I think I would say as a civilian, as somebody who's never done this, is what type of shape did so you showed up a little bit overweight. One of my other Marine buddies, he was always in excellent shape. And when he showed up, somebody's like, "Oh, we have the piggy platoon," and it was all the people who showed up like wicked overweight to Paris Island, and they had to do like a bunch of extra, like phys ed and stuff like that. So like you show up, you're like 12 pounds overweight. Did you think it was like crazy strenuous, or you're like, "Hey, I've been an athlete my entire life. I can have a little 12 pounds isn't really that much. Like I'll get rid of this."
I told them it was all muscle. They were wrong, man. It's way more than that.
What are you, a
But
doctor?
honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the MEPS doctors are.
Oh my
weird.
God,
They're
yeah.
old. Yeah, but that's a whole different story. No, man. Honestly, their requirements they're unrealistic. I was 5'9", 5'10", and I was supposed to weigh like 160 something pounds. And at that point, I think I weighed like 180 something. And like I was lifting weights. I was in football for the
Yeah.
past 4 years plus. You know what I mean? So it was like,
Right.
are you kidding me? But
Yeah, it's that stupid BMI index that everything was based
yeah,
off of.
it's dumb. It's so dumb. But I
Was
had
submarine
I
gonna
had
sink
weight to
more?
lose. Yeah, right. I'm helping
I
you.
told Eric when we did, I gained weight when I went to boot camp. I was finally eating 3 square meals a day for the first time in years.
My dad was a good cook, so I lost a lot of weight.
Oh yeah.
So you get through basic, and what are they called? A school is where you go get like you start on your specialty journey.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, John and I, my best friend, we joined at the buddy program, which is a lie as well, guys and girls that are listening.
Right.
So I left. He joined after me, but only left like a month after me. And I got to boot camp, and remember you can go to church every Sunday at boot camp if you wanted to.
I do remember. I never actually took advantage of that.
Yeah, so I mean I went to Catholic school through 8th grade, not in high school. So I was like, I'll go on Sundays, and I wrote a letter home to John. I was like, hey, dude, show up to church and we could hang out for a little bit. In fact, say you
Right.
want to do confirmation, and we'll get put into an extra class after church, so we could spend like 2 hours together or whatever.
Smart.
So this dude was like getting confirmed, but had like never stepped foot in a Catholic church.
This is okay. Hold on. I don't know.
Dude,
I
that
don't
is
know if Kyle
brilliant.
told you, but like, if you could see around my house, I have like I wear a wrist rosary. Like I have like I'm staring at a crucifix right now. I'm staring at the crucifix that was above my grandparents' bed, and I have. You walk around my house, you'd think I'm a 95-year-old Italian lady.
Yeah.
And, like, it's important to remember my wife is not Catholic either. This is 100% Eric. But what do you mean? So was your friend Catholic, or was he just like, oh, it's time for confirmation?
He was like, he just
Not
wanted to
even
hang out.
baptized.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, never been baptized. I don't even know. I think he went to like a Christian church a couple times in high school because he was dating this chick, but that was it. Like never. So
Nobody was like, hey, we need to see that you were baptized, you had Holy Communion.
no,
you
dude, they
had-
didn't care.
like,
And the
oh,
Navy,
no.
and
Well,
honestly, the
just-
chaplain was like, he looked like Mr. Burns, like dead, like Mr.
You got to think, dude,
Dead on, like Mr.
Sundays.
Burns.
You get still got like Sunday to yourself when you were in, right? Like 'cause
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sunday
Yeah, we
was
still
kind of
got
like
Sundays.
its own. Yeah, you didn't really have much.
Yeah, it got weird in the ship on
Right.
Sundays. We'd have dudes just sitting butt ass. Oh, there you go, butt naked, just in the shower. Because man, I don't know if your
Oh.
division did it, but we did the car wash showers.
Yep. Where you walk
Yeah.
around a circle and turn all the
Yep.
shower heads on, and then you just
You,
try
yeah,
to be
I've
done by the
done
time
that
you
a
get to
few
the end.
times. That's actually
Yeah.
kind of fun. Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Dude,
less
it's
fun when
unrelated
there's-
to
campus-
military
less fun
service.
when there's 90 other people in there.
No,
with
that's
you.
kind of weird.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I thought I was prepared for it being in football in the locker room and stuff like that. But when you first are lined up butt naked with all these other dudes, and you're just like,
There's always one dude who stares. Right?
always.
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 What is with that dude? What are you staring at, dude? Stop looking around.
Comment below if you're that dude. We'll have you on the show.
You're lucky if you only have one dude. But, oh, it's so weird. But then, yeah, they would just sit there and just spread eagle in the shower
Right.
forever. And you're like, what are you doing?
Controversial. That dude's weird.
Yeah.
Did they have the doors on the stalls there for the urinals, or did
No,
you
we
have to
had
shit with them? Yeah. Okay. So they still have
We
the
had curtains, but yeah.
They actually have the
You're so
curtains?
worried about cleaning. Oh, we couldn't open them or we couldn't close
Right.
them, dude.
Yeah.
You're so worried about everything being cleaned. You have like 15 crappers in there. We only
You can use
two.
two, and you can only
Yep.
no one uses the urinals. If you
No
use a
one
urinal,
uses-
God
yep.
forbid.
Why can't you use a
So-
urinal? Urinal
'Cause you have
seems
to
really
clean
easy
it.
to clean.
Because you have to clean it, dude. And you
'Cause
have to. And
There's no point in using something that if you're already going to use the toilet to shit, then you might as well piss in there too.
Exactly. And I can't remember, and maybe I'm running
I
into
don't agree with that at
stereotypes.
all, but like, I accept your logic.
Yeah, remember
I
too.
swear they
you-
gave us like a toothbrush too. Like,
God.
am I getting it confused with movies, or was it like, dude,
I never.
we
got
had to
the
sweep with the
toothbrush.
sock, dude, the Ricky sock.
Sock. Oh yeah. Yeah, I
You gotta
swear
sweep
too.
for
They put
dust
those
bunnies
stupid.
with a sock on your hand.
Did you always find them like in a pile, like in one rack? Like
Yeah, I
somebody
think
was just
they
throwing
get 'em from the
handfuls under
laundry.
them, right?
Yeah, those RDCs were jerks, bro.
Dust
So how does
bunnies are
this
the little
how does
lint
this
balls.
prepare you to manage a ship that could end the world?
Oh, let me tell you how to clean.
Not at all. Yeah.
Not at all.
People are like, "What'd you learn in boot camp? Like how to iron?"
Yeah, I'd
That's
fold,
it.
clean.
I mean, it was the first time I've held a gun, being from Southern California, hunting and all that good stuff. But yeah, never touched a gun till I got to boot camp. So, there was some kind of stuff that was cool and to just experience, but it doesn't prepare you for anything. They're there to break you down and build you up and just make sure you can follow instructions. It's attention to detail.
You mentioned the
attention to
first
detail.
night being pretty rough for you. I remember my first night being almost peeing my pants because I had to run around in circles and drink from the water fountain every time because
Oh,
I
you
didn't
were
know.
one of those guys?
I didn't know how. Well, it's hard for me to pee when you step away from the urinal. I'm not used to peeing on the floor. you know,
True. Or having
So-
somebody looking at you.
that was not great either. But yeah, what was your first day like? What were the things that stood out to you?
So it was cool. So when I left California out of San Diego, they drop you off at like a Holiday Inn right outside a hotel circle in San Diego.
Mhm.
And we're there for like a night and a half, 2 nights. And all my buddies drove down from Riverside and we all went to like Hooters and had one last hurrah. And had a bunch of beers and stuff like that, and then they dropped me back off at the hotel. Then they drop you off at the airport at like 5 in the morning, and your
Mhm.
flight doesn't leave till like 4 in the afternoon, and they just leave. They just leave you there. So literally, we have people second guessing themselves. They're like, "We can leave right now."
Haven't
I'm like,
signed the
dude,
dotted line really yet.
I know. And everybody keeps saying that, but
Right?
you're just too scared at that point. You're like, no, I've signed some lines. I don't know which dotted
I've
line
held
you're
up my
talking about,
hand,
but
and
yeah, yeah. When you take that oath, they make it real. They feel real
they
official.
make you
And
feel
next, they
like
have
it
like a
really
little
is.
room. They
Hmm.
have a podium. They have
Big old
flags. Like,
flag. Yeah.
oh, it's crazy. They make like a whole ceremony out of it, and they shake your hand. So like, yeah, you don't really know that you can bail out until you're there. So I stayed, and I hopped on the flight, and I got to Chicago. It was getting dark, but it was May, so a lot of thunderstorms roll through. You're from Illinois? Which one?
I'm in Pekin right
You
now,
live
so yeah,
right now,
about
so you're
2 hours
familiar
south.
with all the thunderstorms.
Oh yeah, I love it. My
Um,
wife hates it.
yeah, I love them too.
Yeah.
But it was one of those nights, man, and
Yeah.
we were there forever. And I remember going to O'Hare, and then they just start yelling at you, and you're like, "What the hell's going on?" And then they're telling you to tuck your shirt, and I was wearing like jean shorts and whatever, and I'm like, I'm not tucking my shirt, and I look like an idiot, right? And then I was a smoker at the time, so I was like trying to find my last pack before I go in and try to go smoke. And
Get
they're like,
one
"Nope, you're
last one.
sitting in the USO." And I sat there and watched The Simpsons till the bus picked us up. And it was
Right.
super late. And when we roll up, it was thunderstorm, and they had the bus open. And on the way to boot camp, you watch a video of what it's going to be like at boot camp, and it
Oh,
is
I forgot about that.
completely wrong. It's like when you're in line for the roller coaster, it's like step up to the line, and
Right.
you like step up to the line, and the opens, and you step on board, and it's like when you come in, you will walk along the blue path, and it's like an RDC walking next to you. No, it's a pregnant lady, angry at her life, just jumping down your throat. I don't know about you, but I had 3 pregnant ladies. I remember it vividly
Wait, what is going on?
that welcomed me.
Shore
They were,
duty.
yeah, shore duty RDC
Like it-
people, and they were sailors. And the bus door opens. They're like, "Get off the bus! Get the bus!" I'm like, "Whoa, okay,
She's like,
all
ma'am,
right."
you're pregnant.
Yeah, like this is not good.
That's bizarre.
And you walk down, and then you make that 800 phone call, that collect phone call home, and I think you're only allowed to say, "I made it. I'm okay. I'll call you in a couple days or something." Like they told
That's
you,
right.
you
Yeah.
only have like
Yeah.
10, 15 seconds.
Yep.
You do that, you hang up. I think they shave your head that night too, right?
Yep. Yep. They
Oh,
passed
that's where
remember
you're
sitting down
first
getting all your
exposed.
stuff?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where you're first exposed to everybody. They walk you in this room with these tables set up with boxes in front of you, and they're like, "Everything you own, everything on your body, put it in a box." And you're like, "What?" And those guys that know all about it, and they're just taking off everything, and I'm over here like, "Wait, what? I have to take off?" And I'm sitting in my underwear like everything. I was like, "Oh, okay." Drop trout, and you're sitting there holding your junk, putting it all in a box, and then they give you like a pin that you write your home address on, and they mailed all that stuff home. So, like, my cell phone, like
Dude,
all that
imagine getting
stuff
a
was
box
thrown
of
in there.
underwear sent to your house. Like, oh wow, what is going
Literally,
on?
dude, literally. And
Oh,
heaven
my God.
forbid you had a bad, an accident that day, and you're
Oh.
mailing that home to mom.
Yeah. Also,
and
like, how
What
long
the-
have you said it was late, and you had to sit on the? Didn't you
Dude,
sit on the bus?
Dude, that
So,
first
like,
night
all
went.
yeah.
that
that first
underwear
night.
has been used. That is thoroughly engaged
Oh,
underwear.
by that point, yeah. And then I just remember they give you they give you your
Oh,
sweats,
Yeah.
and then they throw you in a room for like ever. And
Just
and then
sitting.
you have to like go pee at some point. You go take a piss test, and then they tell you. I don't think you're even allowed to sleep. Right? They keep you awake. Yeah, if you get caught putting your head down, they tell you to
yeah.
get up and walk around.
Yep.
Like you can't do any of that stuff. And then you get pulled into a room again. And I had tattoos, and so they're really like, what does that tattoo mean? What does that mean? And they want to make sure nothing's gang related and stuff like that. And they try to scare you because your recruiter, again, tells you to lie about everything.
Yeah.
Oh, tell them you only have this, or tell them this, or tell them you've never broken a bone, or
Tell me you never did
blah, blah.
drugs. Tell me you never.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you did
Tell 'em you've
acid.
never-
Don't tell them that.
You've never drank before in your life, right?
Yeah.
And like, so you've never drank? Never? No,
N-
never. Okay.
I know what your
If you
recruiter
say
told
right
you.
now, it's okay. We just
Right.
got to get some waivers, and they'll probably approve you. I don't know. So they try to just scare you, dude. And I held firm. I was like, no, No
Damn
humping.
right.
So, and then after that, by the time all that's said and done, I think you're working on like a day and a half at this point, and then you finally sleep, dude. And I just remember crying, like, "What the hell did I do to myself? Like,
Yeah,
this
Dude,
is
it
it's
was
gonna be
like
crazy."
shocking.
3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I think, when we finally got to our ship where we could like actually see where our rack was.
Yeah,
And then
but
imagine being the
again,
first bastard who had to stand watch.
yeah, and you're still on Navy time, and Navy starts
Right.
at like 6, 7 a.m. So you
Yep.
only get those couple hours of sleep, and they come in banging trash can lids,
Wake you up.
throwing crap across the room, and
Wait, is it pregnant lady
then
throwing things across the room? I'm
no,
concerned about their health.
by this time you have your RDCs. You already know what ship you're not. What I don't even know if you know what
They
ship. No,
call it
because
a
you're in those
ship, but it's
P
yeah.
days, processing days is what it's called. So you're there for about a week.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So you sit there, you meet your RDCs, and during this time you're filling out all the paperwork. You're doing the piss test. You're doing dental stuff. You're doing medical stuff. You're getting all your shots, the penicillin shots. You're getting all your measurements taken
Oh,
for your
oh.
uniforms.
Talk to us about the shot hallway. I don't think I got to tell Eric about this.
Dude, oh, so, come to find out, when you join the military, you're just a guinea pig for all the new medical stuff coming out. And I remember they line you up, and you have to roll your sleeves up.
Both of
And,
them.
yep, and you walk down this hallway, and it's a real thin hallway, and there's a bunch of sailors, RDCs or whatever. Those are kind of like drill instructors. RDCs are drill instructors. But these are like the corpsman type, and they're all standing there with like what looks like a freaking air gun strapped to a air compressor, and you line up and you put your arm there, and they put these guns on your thing, and they just shoot you, and you walk to the next person, they shoot you again. I think it was like 6 shots, right, or something.
Dude,
like
there's
that.
like 8 or 9, and then you
There's
go
a
into the
lot.
room. Then you go into
And
the
then
room.
you go into the room, and it's a gurney, and they line like 4 up on one side, 4 up on the other, and it looks like a straight up OR from the '60s, like twinkling light. And then all these others, and then they're like, "Put your elbows on the gurney," and you're like sitting there like this. You're like, "Okay," and they're like, "Pull your pants down." Like, what? Like, bend over. You're like, what is going on? And it's the penicillin shot, so it's a needle like this freaking long, and you're looking at the person across from you, but you're also seeing their needle, and you're like, "Oh shit," knowing that that's coming in your backside.
Were they messing with you too? Like, because they had them like they're using the alcohol wipes and just hitting people just to make them jump.
Oh, dude, I
They
couldn't
were-
even remember. I was just so scared at that
They
point.
were
I
messing
was
with
like,
us.
Did you know who the person across from you was, or did you
No.
permanently share the intimate moment with a man you'll never see again?
Couldn't even,
much.
couldn't even tell you
Yeah.
what they looked like at this point anymore.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I just remember
Somewhere out there, there's your other half of the
Yeah.
penicillin
Yep.
shot
Yeah, yeah.
living a life.
Just
And then
remembering
they
that
walk
grimace.
you to a room. Yeah, they walk you to a room. You have to sit single file like in kindergarten, and they're like, "All right, wherever you got the shot, you have to rub it for like 30 minutes." So everybody's sitting there rubbing their ass, like, because it's like a peanut. Then they call it the peanut butter shot, because if you don't, it kind of like calcifies or solidifies right there.
Doesn't
or-
actually work its
I
way
don't
So
know.
what is the shot for? Like,
It's supposed to just
penicillin to kill
wipe out
everyone.
any infections you might possibly have.
Probably
okay, because I was
STDs
gonna
for
say,
bunch
like,
of
just a
people coming in.
generic antibiotic shot is wild. You don't have any
Yeah.
more diseases.
Dude,
you have
it-
no more
Yeah.
bacterial diseases.
I don't know about you, Matt, but I felt like I was sitting on a softball for like 5 days
Dude,
after
it
that.
hurts
was
so bad. So the funny thing
miserable.
is, they tell you to make sure, like, be careful when you wake up. And those guys on the top rack that didn't know, they
Yeah.
try to hop out, cramped
Boom.
up, and just eat. We had like 5 guys, dude. They drop like flies because you're so scared. They come waking you up like foghorns and stuff
Right.
every morning. So you pop up and you jump out of your rack. Well, you forget you have this penicillin shot, and if you don't rub it good enough, and I mean, I don't know what it does, man, but it makes you.
It makes your
cramp
ass hurt, is all I know.
Yeah. And they would
All I'm
just
saying is,
flop.
I've never met somebody in the Navy who's died of tuberculosis.
For that reason.
Can't wait to get fact checked on that.
Right?
So one of the things I'm very curious. So you said you basically were there was gonna be like 4 different disciplines, like radio, fireman, sonar. I forgot what the 4th one was, but you didn't know
Fire guy.
fire guy.
Control, I think is what you...
Yeah.
So so real quick, did you decide or did they decide for you?
They decide for you. So again, I waited. So when I got to my A school was.
And where was
11
your A
months
school?
long.
Where in the country?
Groton, Connecticut.
Groton, oh,
Nice.
okay, good.
Yeah.
My neck of the woods. People who sound like
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, rotten grotten, dude. I loved
Groton.
it out there when fall
Yeah.
hit. It was beautiful. So, um, I got there a month before John did. So in my school, you get there and you do it's called BEST, Basic Enlisted Submarine School, and that's where you do the flood trainer, the firefighting trainer, all that basic enlisted stuff, and you learn about subs and all that stuff.
How long did that
Then we go
last?
to like 6 weeks, I think.
6? Really? I didn't get any of that. They did not teach us anything about an actual
You all
submarine.
didn't even come. You all just went to South Carolina, right?
I went to New York
Charleston?
for mine.
Oh, or
South
New
Carolina
York.
for a year and
Yeah.
then New York for 6 months, which was a mock-up engine room, but we didn't do any like flood drills or any
Oh, we did the
practice.
flood drills. We did the escape hatch drills and all that stuff. But then after that, we had NIDA, which I can't remember. One of it was LAN networking and computer tech stuff, and the other
Oh.
one was like soldering
Yeah, okay. It's like
electronics
ET.
and stuff together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and it was cool because you get like a little Palm Pilot back when Palm Pilots were a thing, and everybody used to like sell them or put games on them.
Right.
But you went at those NIDA and the other one, you went at it was self-paced on a computer. So when I went there, I just went slow as hell. There was stupid Navy stuff, click, 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 answer some questions. I went slow because John had just gotten there. I was waiting for him to get through BEST because once you finish NIDA and A school and you finish at the same time, you kind of just wait around for like a week until you class up. So all those people that finish around the same time, they wait for a certain amount of people, boom, and then you all class up as one.
Yeah.
So I purposely waited, and then we finished NIDA the same day. We pressed our last button on the computer same time, and they're like, "All right, you guys, whatever." So we knew
Nobody
we were gonna
noticed you
class
were
up
holding
together.
back that much?
It was self-paced, man. So they
That's
probably just thought I was an
crazy.
idiot. They didn't care. They had so many people coming through that
This
pipeline.
guy's
it didn't
wicked
matter.
slow. We have no idea. I just give him a couple more tries.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
Right? So then we classed up, and then our actual sonar tech school. So in NIDA or whatever the other one was called, that's when there's like a big day where everybody's like, "All right, your new orders have come in. You've been selected for your rate." And sometimes it's like very rate heavy on certain ones, and ours just happened to be a sonar tech drop. So we had.
So
I wanna
when you say
like
rate
26
heavy, is that like a job classification? What is
Yeah,
what does
job
rate
is
mean?
yeah. The rate is your job. So, when they were selecting rates for the submarine electronic computer field, I guess there was a shortages of sonar techs at that time. So I want to say like 25 of out of the 25 of us, like 18 of us were sonar techs. There's like one or two fire control technicians, and then the other two rate
What did John end up getting?
sonar tech as well.
Oh, he did. Okay, so he did end up.
Yeah.
There was a happy ending.
So at this point, I called Jake. He toured a submarine when he was in Groton, and because I didn't have my phone for a while, and I was going to boot camp, and I didn't know Jake's new number and all this other stuff. So by the time I finally got Jake's contact info, and I called him, I was like, "Hey, what boat are you on, man? Where are you out?" He's like, "Oh, dude, when I was in Groton, they made us go clean the USS Augusta," and he's like, "Hell no, dude, I'm not going on a submarine. I couldn't do that. I'm too tall." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I told him I couldn't do it." So I'm on the USS Antietam right now, man. I'm about to go out for a Westpac. I'm like, "You're a surface dude now? What?" Like, I was pissed.
Did they dock his pay because were you getting sub pay?
No.
or for-
So here's the thing:
Ah.
you don't get any of that cool crap until you finish A school. So that $8,000 I was promised, I thought was going to be in my boot camp paycheck
Right.
after boot camp. No, I was
Nope.
like almost negative in boot camp after boot camp. My first paycheck.
First
I didn't know you had to
paycheck
pay
was
for all your
$5.
uniforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell?
I still think that's wild. I'm gonna run for president on that. We pay for service members' uniforms because I think that's a
100%.
99-1 issue.
Get my vote.
So dumb. It's like, had I known, I don't need that stupid pea coat that costs like $300. Although I do wear it now. It's pretty nice.
I still have mine.
I live in Michigan now, so it's cold.
I was gonna say the whole being your buddy was like 6'5". Well, I just couldn't see that. I'm 6'4", and I've been on one submarine, and I was like, oh, this is just not where God intended me to ever spend any
how tall
amount
was-
of time.
Do you remember Tyler? Oh, I cut the
No,
name.
but
Do
you remember Coop?
Coop? Yeah, okay. Yeah, Coop. How tall was Coop?
Coop's 6'5", too. 6'4".
Was he 6'5"? He wasn't that tall, was he? I thought he was like 6'3",
Yeah,
maybe.
he's pretty tall. I don't
He's
know.
pretty
But
big.
that
Okay,
dude
in
walked
fairness,
around
it's
like
hard to
a
tell the
I know.
difference between somebody who's
On the
6'3"
boat.
and 6'5".
Yeah. Especially on a sub because they're
Yeah,
all just
yeah.
scrunched.
I was just
And we were on a
it-
bigger boat too.
Yeah.
So
So you go to A school. So have you ever thought about sonar before? Were you like, when you were younger, you're like, oh, that's so cool, or are you just like, hey, cool, I got to learn this new
Had you
skill. It's super
seen
important.
any sub movies or anything that?
Did you think
I
it was
mean,
going to be a dot on a green screen going?
no,
Beep,
I honestly had never
beep,
seen.
ping.
I'd seen the movies. I'd
Yeah.
seen Crimson Tide, which is Jonesy. That was my job, was Jonesy. But no, I had never. Like I said, I still at this point thought subs were fake. I honestly didn't believe. And then when you go to sonar school, oh, go ahead.
Do you ever have anybody on the sub try to convince you that we never actually went to see, that we just were like on the side of the pier pretty much like, all the time, like we never actually went out to sea? That's
That
it.
is my favorite person, whoever that person is.
So I don't know if somebody actually said that or if that's what I originally thought. Because when I got
Was
to
that you that was
Banger,
spreading that rumor or sitting that?
it may have been. I thought they pulled us into EHW and they just
Yeah.
put us on like hydraulics and they just like moved us around. Because there's always like a boat in there, man. There's
Right?
always a boat in there. It's like, didn't the Louisiana just go out to sea? Oh yeah, but
Right.
they got to go to EHW. It's like,
Why are they always
okay,
broken?
yeah,
Yeah.
I know what's going on. No, but it wasn't until we had to medvac somebody off, and they're like, okay, cell phone
Ooh.
liberty or whatever.
Oh
And
God,
Oh, how does that work? Like, whoa, that sounds crazy.
that was? I
yeah,
remember
so this
that.
guy, what crew were you on,
Was that-
Kyle? I
Wait,
can't-
was that on the Alaska? Was that?
Yeah.
Did we do that? Yeah, I was a gold crew, but was this? Remember we combined
Oh,
crews at
see, I
some
was
point
blue
too.
crew. Yeah, see, I was blue crew originally.
We
That's what I thought. I
combined though for
remember
the last run.
What are those like the different cycling crews? I know sometimes.
Yeah. So when we go out to sea, then they'd be in port, and then they'd take over when we come back.
And that's only for the BNs because we have to have
Yeah.
3 out on each coast
Ballistic
at all
subs.
times, alert, and
So
the fast
what-
attacks only have 1 crew.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened? Like what? I mean, I don't want to get any identifying details. So somebody got hurt on the sub, or somebody had to be medvac.
Yeah, so
That
his
seems insane to
appendix
be able to do.
burst.
Oh,
Yeah.
my appendix almost burst. I'd
okay,
have emergency
okay. That was a
appendectomy. That
different
is
one.
not fun.
Who?
Yeah, and so it was
was
a
that?
egg hanger,
Okay.
Moran.
That was Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, and so we were off the coast of Hawaii apparently, and when we went
Apparently.
up topside, yeah, went up topside, I saw Waikiki, and I was like, oh, we are far from home. Okay, this thing
that's
works.
Was that your first patrol? Or?
Yeah, that was my first patrol.
Okay.
So I was still a little nub.
Yeah, you got lucky to
But I
go.
did get
We
an
got Hawaii
admiral's
the
letter.
first. Yeah.
I earned my fish. I mean,
They-
I got my little pamphlet when I got to the boat in August, and I was pinned on Christmas Day. But my first patrol didn't start until right after Halloween. So I want to say people would sign the stupid stuff in port, but
They
like,
won't
oh,
do
you haven't even
crap in
seen the
port.
boat.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
You
not
haven't even
signing
seen
this.
the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 99% of my card was done in that month and a half. And you want to know why I worked so hard and so diligently? It wasn't because I wanted to prove anything or
No,
anything like
so we
that.
watched
I left
movies.
watch movies, but one in particular. I left for boot camp right before the final episode of Friends season finale, and I'm a diehard Friends guy, and I never got to see it. And my friend mailed me the final episode on DVD, and I was just sitting there waiting
Oh.
till I got pinned.
I love interviews
What?
like
That's
this.
wild,
I
dude.
love that you're just like, let me rush through how to identify targets to protect
Oh man,
this thing that could end the world because I got to see what happens to Rachel and Ross. I don't even know if I said that right. I have never been a Friends person. That was before
You
my
did.
age group. Like, if you have an Office reference, I'd be the guy to go to on that. But,
Matt, how long did you end up staying in for?
I got out around 8 years, just shy.
So you did you end up
Wow.
doing a second boat tour or just shore duty after that and then out?
I did shore duty, man.
Okay.
I
Well,
originally joined, like I said, just to get away, and I was all about the college route. I knew at some point I didn't, and I still to this day, those countries that do it where you have a mandatory 2 years of service, I think it's right. To ask anybody, at 26, I finally went back to school, and I still changed my major 3 times. To ask anybody
Right.
that's never had any life experience what the hell you want to do for the rest of your life, and not only that, but to throw ungodly amounts of money at it, and then to be wrong, or just to
Right.
know, like, hey, that communications degree or that psychology degree, it's not going to get you what you think unless you really,
Right.
So it's like 100%. And I was glad I did it that way. So I was only going to do the first 5 because you have to do 5 as a sub guy. But my
Yeah.
ex-wife and I, we'd gotten pregnant with my daughter at that time, and I still had no clue what I was going to do. So I re-enlisted. Like, well, I'll do shore duty. I did not opt for that sub pay while you're unsure if you promise to go back to the road
Yeah, that's how
thing.
they
It's like,
get you, man.
So what rank did you depart or separate with?
E5. Yeah, I was a
Uh,
second class when I got out.
Again, the Navy one. I'm pretty good at the ranks for every other branch, but the
Petty
Navy,
officer.
yeah,
Four,
so
three,
like a
six is
sergeant,
petty officer.
like NCO, right? Like that's
Yeah.
E5s and like
Yeah.
NCO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said something funny there, and we're recording this. Matt, just let you know. So I pretty much only wear WVU stuff when we do our recordings. It's like my shtick, that and like City of Quincy stuff. So today's actually the first day of the fall semester. So I teach economics at my alma mater. I obviously do it remotely. And you said something really interesting. You said two things really interesting. One, I'm going to say the more interesting thing second. But making a kid decide what they want to do now. I was going into college. I was a weirdo. Like I knew I wanted to study economics, and like I sprinted through undergrad. Like I love that, and then I teach there. So this is going to sound really, really hypocritical. I could not agree with you more. I think it is bonkers when I talk to young people who come to. I do the coaching. I do all that stuff because I'm a big believer in education. You know, my father taught me from a young age, education's the most equalizing thing you can do is to learn, whether it's a trade, whether it's military service, whether it's academia, that like educating yourself for the sake of education is worth it, let alone the equalizing effect. That I could not agree with you more. I think it is nuts when I talk to some of these young kids, like, I want to be an aerospace engineer or something. I'm like, you don't know what you want to be. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a weirdo. Like, I applied for WVU because I was a year in school. I applied for WVU when I was 16. And I applied for the econ program, got into the econ program, and I've never changed my mind. Like I got my graduate degree in it. I teach it now, and I tell people like that's dumb luck. That is 100%. Do not think this is the right path.
No.
And people are like, but you love economics. Like yes, but don't do this. Try and figure out what
You're
you
the
want.
anomaly. I feel
Right.
like there's certain people, like doctors kind of always know they want to be a doctor, right? And
I think they just refuse to admit they're wrong. You go down that path for 8 years, you're not.
right? Oh yeah,
But
100%.
Matt, you said another thing I find fascinating because I've heard a lot of vets say this. A lot of my friends who are vets, a lot of people I've met. I've been very lucky that my previous job I got to meet. I actually met the Commandant of the Marine Corps and the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I met generals. Every general I always ask, I say, "What's your favorite rank?" Without a fail, they all say captain. Because they're like, I am in charge of like 200 men, but I'm still in the field, and it's amazing.
But you mean 03 captain, right?
No, I mean the not the Navy captain, not the colonel, whatever equivalent is for you guys. But you said countries that require military service, so like Korea, Israel, stuff like that.
Switzerland.
Switzerland. You agree with that, and I've heard so many people say that. Can you walk through? Everybody has kind of a similar but different rationale. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, Matt. Like, why do you think that?
I mean, it just prepares you for life and everything that it can throw at you. I mean, most people that I met in the Navy came from a certain part of the country and have never left that bubble, right? And the first time that they did was in the Navy. And to be able to handle people from different cultures, different backgrounds, get along for one goal, one, purpose, it's hard to do. And to assume that anybody can just go to college and do this and not know how to be able to work with these people in a corporate setting or this, that, and the other. It's just, I think life experience, man, just attention to detail, the small stuff that they hound on you for. Like, I'm so thankful for it because it's just in my everyday life. Like, if I didn't have that structure, I don't think I'd be as successful as I am. And again, at 18, you can send your kid to school, but it's the first time you're not waking them up. You're not checking their homework and making sure they're doing stuff. They're on their own. Peer pressure really is getting to them. The military, you don't have a chance. And those that fail and succumb to peer pressure are in captain's mask because they do something stupid.
Right.
So you navigate being able to deal with even just the small stuff like peer pressure and not even really knowing that you're having to deal with it.
Even just having consequences for your actions, I think, is
And I think
huge.
that's what it is. Right? Because
Mhm.
in your podcast, you don't just get hit once, you get hit twice or three. And in the Navy, that stupid frocking period, and you
Right.
get in trouble. It's like, oh, you're getting bumped
take
down,
two
but from
ranks
this
away.
rank, it's so dumb. So, and then again, dumb things like DUI. I can't tell you how many times I drove before I joined the Navy in high school, thinking I was invincible after drinking.
Hmm.
Southern California is not some rural back road stuff. You know
Did
what I
you know
mean?
that I ruined the boat's DUI streak when I showed up? It had been going
Did you
for
really?
12 or 13 months.
Is this in Georgia when you
No,
did it?
this was
Oh,
no, this is in Washington. It was like the month I showed up there, I freaking killed that thing.
dude, it got worse when we got to
Yeah.
Georgia or Virginia. Were you on the boat when that guy
I
died?
was I was with you guys when it went around to Virginia, but I left before you guys started doing sea trials.
Yeah, because we had a guy die, and
Oh, really?
egg hanger.
Oh,
Do you remember? Were you on?
I,
Oh, you might want to edit that part out, but whatever.
name doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah, they were having an egg gang bonding weekend out on the Elizabeth River in
Yeah.
Virginia, and they were doing stupid egg gang stuff. And I mean,
Mm.
think of the egg gang crew at that point. You
I've
know,
hung out with some gangers. I know what they do.
yeah.
The
It's
hell is
fun
an egg
time.
So they
ganger?
were
What is this word?
All right. Gangers are
they're the wrench turners.
yeah, but they're like
Uh,
you got the mechanics that are the nuke mechanics, and then they're the ones that handle all the stuff in the engine room, and then anything else that's mechanical is basically an A-ganger handles it. But it's like
yeah,
all the stuff that you
they
really, really need, like the shit systems, like they,
like the backbone of the
yeah,
boat
like,
is egg gang.
like they're a
They do
special
everything.
breed. Like the
Yeah,
like some of them guys, like they'll put on suits and have to climb down
yeah,
into the sands
they
tank
dive
to
in the
go.
shit tanks.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking like the Coleman at the bottom of the Titanic. That is what I'm envisioning right now.
yeah,
Like six
yeah.
foot
Yep.
eight, like
And
Scottish
they
people.
they
Anything
got a
that
special
breaks,
mentality, man. They're
yeah,
awesome
man.
people, but
They
don't piss
yep,
them off.
do not piss them, and they sign 90% of your qual card to get your dolphins. So you
So
get
were
them.
they having like when you say like a weekend, like what were they just like going
Mandatory
down to the
fun kind of
river?
thing.
They were,
Or
but yeah, they were
Yeah.
just trying to have a bonding weekend with the crew because we had just gotten to Virginia and we were a combined crew, and a lot of
Oh,
people
okay.
that rode us around left because they all wanted to go back to Washington, and they had arranged these home port swaps, and it was, I mean, this move to over from Washington to Virginia was just it was a shit show, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
oh,
And so they were doing this bonding thing, and they were playing, boat rodeo, where some guy would go on the front of the boat, and they would just do these things, and the guy fell off over, and
ran over.
I
Oh,
was home on leave, and I remember them saying everybody has to be in the off crew office at blah 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 blah, and I was like, I'm on leave, dude. Like I don't know.
oh no, that
So
don't
I was in
apply.
California, yeah, and then they're like, oh okay, we'll tell you later, type of deal.
Oh, they
So
didn't make you come back?
no, it was when I got back from leave is when I found out what happened, but
Oh my
Mm,
word.
yeah.
jeez.
Oh. Uh, so you guys mentioned something earlier about I was at the back of the boat, you were at the front, so you didn't know what each other was doing. How much of that was a joke? How much of that is actually how submarines work?
I've seen in this S sonar room a few times. I know what your screen looks like. I have no idea what any of it means. And that's about the extent I know.
Yeah,
Is you guys sit in a dark room and stare at this
I
neon
think
screen.
the nukes probably have it a little bit worse. They never come out of that engine room.
Never.
But everybody else, I mean, we're back there cleaning. So when they have an operational readiness exam or whatever your ORS exams were called, where they do all the testing for the engine room, we're back there, the coners, the front people, we're
They
back
made
there
you clean?
cleaning.
We never made you guys clean on
Bro,
my boat. I
shut the
remember.
hell up,
You guys
bro.
had enough cleaning your end. Really?
Dude, we were back there waxing your guys' decks and
Oh, that's
everything like
crap.
that,
I'd be
dude.
pissed too.
Oh, we were down there, and I was in every single one of those bays. Dude, I found so many places to hide underneath the screws.
Oh, dude, I had a few
The
MM2.
shaft back there.
Yeah, I got
Yep.
caught watching Chris Rock special up there with like three other guys. Almost got masted
Yeah,
for
there
that.
was there's one
Is
area,
that-
dude. If
yeah,
you can
you
get up
climb
there,
up. Yep, yep,
yep,
yep. That
all the
was
way
it.
back by the shaft.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. And then there
Oh,
was one in one of your bays that you can climb up the rib, and
What
you
is
can get
this
up there too.
conversation?
so the
Dude,
hidden
you'd find
spots in the
places
back of the
to
engine room,
hide.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, field days were no fun, and when they were making you clean.
Field
But
days
yeah,
is
we
4
would
hours
come
of
back
cleaning
there a
the same
lot.
spot.
And then sonar, we had one of our towed arrays was deployed from back there, so
So
we'd
I
go
only
back
learned
there.
about towed arrays recently.
Yeah,
So
so
we
this is
actually
wicked
were.
interesting because airplanes do this too. So this is fascinating. Can you walk through how you would use a towed array?
Or what you can
Yeah.
tell us at least. Obviously,
Oh
don't
yeah,
say
that's
anything
real quick.
classified here.
Yeah, don't tell us anything we're not allowed to know.
Yeah, so I mean, the submarine obviously has no windows. go too deep to see anything. So sonar controls and runs everything with the eyes and ears.
Did
And
you look for portholes when you first got on? Because I know I did.
no, we were told as a sonar tech, you're told right up front because you don't want to be that idiot
Like,
that is like looking for a window. We're told we're the eyes and ears from day one and ST school.
yeah, they didn't tell me.
So everyone, all boats have a sphere. And it has a bunch of hydrophones on it, and that's just your passive. So you're just listening. I mean, all these things.
What's
are
the point of towing it behind you? Is that just to get a better like 360-degree view or
Yeah.
listen, I
So
guess?
the sphere. I mean, sphere. You can't see anything behind you because it's all us,
Right.
right? So you only have X amount of angle that you're hearing, and then the total. That's why I don't know if you guys use the term clearing your baffles as much as we did, as
Mhm.
like a
No,
kind
no,
of-
no. People don't
It-
use
it's
that
a-
term. What do
yeah,
you?
no. So, and at least in the ST world, it's like slang jargon for
Look behind
watch
you.
what you're saying before you say it. It's clearing your baffles. So when we have our towed array deployed, we clear our baffles. That's basically our blind spot, like in a car, you can't see like right here. So you use the towed array, so you clear your baffles by turning the ship one way, and that way the towed array will turn itself, and you could hear everything that you were blind to, and then you turn back this way, and then you could hear it, and then you can hone in on exactly where that was coming and all
Oh
that.
my
good
god, that
stuff.
is the towed array. So I'm assuming that's passive radar, passive
Yeah.
sonar, right? Like that
Yeah.
wouldn't have the ability to project. That would be.
Do we even have
Active
this?
stuff.
We don't have the ability for
do
active, do we?
anymore.
Yeah.
No, SSBNs don't. I mean, we have.
Whoa, wait,
Technically-
wait. What?
I
Ballistic
mean,
missile subs don't have active sonar?
Greenpeace,
uh,
Greenpeace and stuff, they ruined all that. No, there's still capabilities of it, but like actually deploying and using active sonar like just doesn't.
it's
I mean,
basically just telling everybody I'm right here. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
you're
It's
giving
like
away your spot.
270 decibels. It's some ungodly number.
You're scrambling dolphin brains. It's
Yeah,
not good.
that was I go to Kyle. I go, can I ask Matt how many whales he killed?
Yeah. It's- oddly enough, I think we did hit one, but that thing was following us for like 3 weeks, dude.
was that the one that was like humping you guys? I think I remember one of the like
Yes.
Hopkins or someone telling me about that.
Yes, dude. This
That sounds
whale,
scary, actually.
So
it was blinding out our whole broadband. We couldn't see where we were going because it was. I think it wanted to mate with us.
Jeez.
I'm assuming nuclear submarine f's up a whale, right?
It depends on where he's
Oh.
trying to.
Listen,
what orifice
this
he
thing
finds.
was following us, and it was just doing its whale noises forever. You could hear it through the hole when you're trying to sleep. Like it just
Really.
doing. You're like, shut up! I've already been listening to you for 6 hours.
Huh.
And on the sphere on broadband, your each thing shows up as a bright line, and that's a different contact. So you're tracking those, so you know where they're at, and you're not running into them, how far away they are. You can determine all that from this. When something's that close and that loud, it's one big shiny light, so it's
Oh,
blinding us. Essentially, we're blind, so
Right.
we're like trying to get away from this thing for weeks.
Dude, it's
All of
wild.
a sudden, like it was a thud, and then it stopped.
like
Purely coincidence. I think it's coincidence, but like we lost the whale immediately. Like after that, but-
Did the shaft cavitate at all or anything like that?
dude, our shaft was always cavitating. That shaft was screwed up
Not
on
when
the
I was at
last
the
one.
throttleman, man.
have you guys ever heard of a whale fall?
Whale fall.
Yeah, if you ever want to read something, Google or Wikipedia whale fall. It's when a whale dies and falls to the bottom of the ocean because it's as opposed to like most bony fish and cartilage fish, whales have tons of subcutaneous fat. So when it falls to the bottom of the ocean, it's like a whole ecosystem goes around this massive animal.
Oh, it's wild.
Yeah.
No way. That's cool.
And it's, some of the pictures are very beautifully
It's like
disturbing.
you didn't
but,
kill a whale.
Oh,
You
sure.
just founded a new
We fed the
ecosystem.
Hey, you tried. You tried not to, but it is fun to think that a small portion of the ecosystem is based upon nuclear carrying submarines hitting the world's
Yeah.
largest animal.
Potentially. Eventually.
Interesting segue. I stopped eating shrimp for quite some time.
Maybe. Is this
after
before or
being
after the
a
radioactive
sonar tech.
ones that. Oh,
No, this was
after being a
every
sonar.
time that we were blowing sands overboard. All of a sudden, we'd hear shrimp coming and just feasting,
Wait, what
bro.
is blowing? Oh, okay.
Sanitary
You're blowing
tanks.
Yep.
Remember when I told you
drip
about our
tanks and
first
all that.
swim call that we did?
Yeah.
They did that right before we did our swim call, like about an hour before. So
Well,
yeah,
good
all
thing you have
those
that penicillin shot.
all those shrimp show
Yeah,
up
yeah,
first,
there you
but
go.
those shrimp tracked
Dude, and
sharks
they-
and bigger things.
oh man, they were just eating it. So
Like
Yeah.
my grandfather, he was a Marine, and then he was a chef, and he was from rural West Virginia, Bourbon County, Philippi, West Virginia, and he refused to ever eat lobster or shrimp because he was like, all they do is eat the literal crap on the bottom of the ocean. I'm not eating those. So then he moved up to Massachusetts, which is obviously the big secret here. And he's
oh
like,
yeah,
no, he worked in he ran a couple restaurants in a building in Boston, and he would just be like, nope, disgusting. He's like, I hate working with it. It's
Maybe-
gross.
Try and telling them that lobster are nothing but just overgrown lice. See if that makes it a
It's
little better.
really, they're just arthropods.
makes
They're
it
just
worse.
large
I know, right?
arthropods. Like, that's
makes
it.
it worse.
The lobster is delicious. I do.
So going back to the forward and aft kind of divide then thing. So like what were your guys' impressions, or what was the thoughts that you guys had around nukes? Because I remember there being like a pretty strict divide between nukes and coners. Like there's a lot of jokes that were
100%.
So
told
real
on
quick,
our
when
end.
Kyle is saying nukes, he's not talking about when you say nuke, Kyle, you do realize most people are thinking of the ballistic weaponry that you carry.
I'm talking about nuclear
True.
qualified people on the submarine when I say that. That's the shorthand.
So is nuclear qualified like the people who could work on the reactor and
Yeah.
its associated
Yeah.
systems?
Basically everyone in the engine room is going to be nuke with some egg hangers. I think there's some stuff that they maybe have control of
Yeah,
over there.
they do some. Yeah, and then I think we go back there for, like I said, take care of the toad ray stuff. But no, I
You guys
mean, you
never
guys
clean
were
my
the
arms, right?
dungeon. You guys were the Dungeon and Dragons people.
Thank you.
That's what they told us.
Yeah.
Like those guys are weird. But I actually, honestly, the only egg hangers, the only nukes that I actually really liked or felt easy to get along with were the machinist mate ones back
The
there.
what?
The machinist mate ones, the MMs
Yeah.
back there.
Yeah, they were the most normal. They really were.
Yeah,
It's like the
and
the electricians were borderline. The ETs
they
were
were the next
weird.
ETs. Oh, there was that one.
You don't have to say it. I know.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there's ELTs, which are like the really nerdy mechanics.
Oh, yeah.
Those were the EverQuest guys, actually.
EverQuest guys. See, I don't even know that. I belonged up for.
So like, is it weird to be on a boat with weird people, especially like trapped underwater in essentially a soda can, capable of destroying the world?
Yeah, man, it really is. I feel like for me, it's a little bit easier coming from my neck of the woods because Southern California is a melting pot as it is.
Yeah.
But for a lot of different people, a lot of Texans, a lot of Southern states, that's their
Fucking
first
Texans.
interaction with anybody.
How does a
developed
sub
a-
smell?
It smells like Chinese food.
It's hard. Yeah, it's like
It's like old
like
Chinese
that
food.
oil fried. It's hard. All I
Dude,
know is like you
what's-
smell it initially, and then you forget until you smell all your clothes from patrol after the fact. And you're like,
What was that ship I went to that was out in Battleship Cove, out in your neck of the woods, Eric? It was. I don't think it was a
Battleship
battleship,
Cove.
but maybe it was a battleship. It might have been a battleship.
Like, are you saying like in Quincy?
no, it was in Battleship Cove, like just
Oh,
like an
so down
hour
in Fall
from you.
River?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I think it was over there. One of those
might
ships
be
that
the
we
USS
went on.
Massachusetts.
That might have been it. When we stepped on board that, like when as soon as I walked in the front, like the first like door on the superstructure, whatever you call it in this thing, I don't know, surface ships, but man, it smelled just like that submarine. Man, it was like
It is
walking.
the USS Massachusetts.
I made
weird.
I made eye contact with another dude who had a hat on. And I could tell he had served, and I was like, "That take you back?" He said,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
my-
I just smelled something the other day. I was like, oh, that smells like.
If on my old sea bag, I can still get a whiff of it on
That's
old
I
poopy
think what it
suits.
was. I had. Yep. Oh,
Yep.
Dude.
My favorite thing visiting like the USS Massachusetts, the ship it was, is when you went to the bathrooms and they had the one red seat for the sailor who got a bedroom communicable disease.
Oh,
He would have to use the red seat because it had to be like extra clean, but it was up to be like the end of the trough. I was just like, wow, I like how that joke like actually isn't a joke.
sad thing is, there's probably somebody else had to clean it up for him too.
Oh yeah,
Oh, 100%.
right.
Are boats gross? Are they gross?
Yeah.
Are you, like, or is it so much cleaning that it's not gross?
It's not.
That's gross. Dude, you know what's really
Oh,
gross?
It depends.
You know what's really
the bunk
gross?
rooms.
No, not that. You're about 2 months into patrol. Where do you think all that dirt is coming from that you're still sweeping up every week?
Oh, skin
That's
cells.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's because you know what it is. I mean, does it look?
No, you wouldn't. You
Man.
wouldn't. You'd have no clue. You'd have no clue.
That's just you being too smart, Kyle.
Maybe a little bit.
So,
We did have one incident where a guy didn't want to get out of his bedroom to go to the bathroom, so he was just peeing into the bilge. But that was where we were keeping all of our food, in particular our potatoes for that run.
I
So,
heard about that.
Did you
Yeah.
fight him?
No, that was the first public mass I think I ever saw where everybody got to attend that because they
What's a
were ready
public
to murder him.
like terminology? Like,
Normally,
captain-
captain's mass is just like your not even your division.
Usually it's just you and the captain, yeah.
and the
Or
captain,
your
and your
officer.
divo, and your chief, and your LPO. It's like very small, intimate, like 5-6 people.
They'll bust you down if you done something wrong. Usually, like if
Like
I went,
you're going to military trial basically in front
yeah.
of your own captain. And like, you did this wrong, so now we're taking all this money away from you, and this, that, and the other.
because of and this guy was doing this for a long time. Like this wasn't just like a one-time event. Like this was like 4 weeks into the patrol. He'd been doing it like every day. So yeah, like everybody was allowed to attend that one. That was
where do you fit everybody in a sub?
everybody who
It's not a
could
ballroom,
attend. I mean,
right?
I guess you couldn't fit more than probably 50 in there, but everyone was
You had
allowed to
50
attend.
people in a room on a submarine? What?
You probably get about 50 into that mess decks, couldn't you? Is that a little?
I mean, we
Yeah.
oh, so when that guy died, that
Yeah.
was that we did a shipwide
Probably
captain's mass in
Yeah.
the mess.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
there's a lot of
uncomfortable.
people on watch.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, at all
About
times,
a third of the crew will be
since
gone.
1986, the USS Alaska's had somebody standing on her 24/7. You know,
God.
so
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy, right? And not just somebody, a whole plethora. I think when we were in the yards, it's probably the least amount of people.
We
she's
went
had
down to like
watching over.
one at one point, I think.
Yeah,
at
it
least
was like
in the back.
one or two
Yeah.
people. Yeah, we had like we had like a below deck. No, we had 3. Yeah, we had topside,
Okay,
below decks.
yeah. And then there was like one guy for the engine room. That was it.
One of the questions I enjoyed asking Kyle, and I'll ask it to you, Matt, is what was your scariest moment on the submarine?
Ooh.
You see someone on the sonar that you're like, what is that? And then it disappears, or you're just.
No,
Right.
it wasn't that. Mine was like more real life something. So when I rode the USS Wyoming, we had a guy that actually was gonna try to kill everybody on board. So it was, you get those drills. So sometimes they like to surprise you with drills, and you hear the alarms go off. And
Yeah.
we had called them, what were they called? The
Drill team?
EMBAs.
Oh, the EABs?
EABs. There you
Yeah.
go. The EABs. Oh, God, the worst invention ever. They've got to come up with
Is that
something
something that
better.
allows you to rescue yourself from a sunken submarine?
No, that's the
So, no,
stanky head.
Yeah, yeah. Those are all just to make your mom and dad feel better. There's
Yeah,
really
did you ever
no
see a
way of
new one
getting
of
off
those?
the
Because
boat.
I never saw one that was
No.
manufactured after 1950.
Yeah, and like perfect name, Stanky Hood, because they're stinky as hell.
So what is the thing you're describing? Is that like there's a fire on the ship? Or?
So it looks like a firefighter's mask almost,
Okay.
but it has a hose, and you have to actually plug into an air manifold.
Oh.
And on the submarine, you have these air manifolds everywhere. And they're rectangular shape. That means that it's right above you, and then a triangular shape, non-skid, like sandpaper piece, like glued to the deck. And if it's triangle, it means it's somewhere between the floor and the ceiling, somewhere on the
Mhm.
bulkhead. And if there's a fire, it's your way of getting around the
Breathing.
ship and being able to breathe. So you would breathe, unplug, cap it, hold your breath, and go find the other one, and then plug in. Now, granted, if it was dark and smoky and you couldn't find it, you're sucking rubber and you feel like you're gonna die. And in drills, they'd put this black blindfold over you, so you couldn't. I don't know how many times I cheated during drills, dude. I can never find. I was like, if this thing really burns, I'm screwed. We had one
Like, wow,
fire.
that has
was,
amazing lung capacity.
Yeah. We had one fire in like the laundry room. It was really small. But yeah, it was
Laundry
this
room.
guy.
It's dryer, right?
Always, yeah.
Always the dryer.
Always.
Kyle has
Nobody
a
cleans the
vendetta
laundry
against the
mat.
dryers.
They don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
they don't clean that vent.
We're the
trap.
ones that had to clean it.
So his plan, and I had to ride the Wyoming. So the Alaska was in the yards. We were refilling the reactor and all this other stuff. We were there for like 2 years. And so a lot of ships, when they need help, will reach out to other boats and they'll send them. So I had to go ride. They needed a sonar
That
tech.
sucks.
I
Think
know.
you're not going
You
out to
do.
sea, and then you got to go out to sea.
Yeah,
That.
on somebody else's boat. And you're trying to fit. It's like you're the outsider and you're trying to fit in with the cool kids.
You still
got
gotta
to
qualify,
talk
too?
to you. You have to qualify. There's stupid watches. It's like a
Right.
breeze, but it's like you still have to do all the and you even have to qualify ships. You still have to qualify ships to be qualified.
What?
Yeah, it's so dumb.
So was
It's
there ships
so
qualified?
dumb.
Was anything similar to what we did on the Alaska, or was that still, as far
No,
as you know,
it,
unique? Do they
no,
still do
yeah,
that?
the snapshot.
I,
As
Yeah.
far
I,
as
I
I know, I
do
think
want to
they
say
do.
the money part of this conversation is somebody trying to kill everybody on the boat. Like
Yes,
I
yeah,
yeah,
understand
we'll
the
get back. We're good.
refueling and that stuff,
Right.
but can we talk
So,
about the
so Eric,
potential
that happens more
So
than you
we're
think.
riding
international
them.
news story?
Happens more than you think.
Yeah. Well, that and
Everyone's got
my
that
first
story.
captain. Yeah, they've almost killed me like 2 or 3 times underway. I guess now that I'm thinking about
So
things.
what was the guy's plan? Like what
So his
was?
plan was he was a nuke, and maybe you can explain
Oh
this
my
stuff a
god.
little bit more
Fucking nukes.
because he went to nucleonics, and I guess you guys have some type of like industrial strength ammonia, right,
Oh.
or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And he was going to pour it into the ventilation system, and essentially everybody was just supposed to like pass out or something
Yeah,
like
that would
that. It
have.
was supposed to be this strong.
Yeah.
I guess it's like super duper strong. And then he was gonna go get the small arms locker keys from the weapons officer who was passed out somewhere, and then have a heyday
How
with
far did he
everybody.
make it?
How
He was
did he,
pouring the ammonia into the nucleonic sink or something like that. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
And when another guy actually was he on the Wyoming or was it one of the Alaska riders? I can't remember. I think he may have been on the Wyoming. Found him and like went in there and like literally started wrestling with this guy and like threw them both out of nucleonics, and that's when
Jeez.
they heard the commotion, and it was a huge thing, man. We had to
Yeah.
surface the ship immediately. We had to run the diesel and ventilate and do all this other stuff.
what
Um,
was his plan now for passing out? This seems
Was
very
he using the
illogical.
EAB? Was he wearing
he
the
had the
EAB?
EAB. He
Yeah.
had an
Okay. I was gonna
EAB
say
on.
had to have been.
He had an EAB on. And from there, he was gonna go get a scuba because he would have looked at the full-on firefighting ensemble with the tank and
Yeah.
everything.
Just
So
started
he
with
would have
that.
looked. Well, he would have looked a little weird walking around with that, right? So he
Yeah.
was in there, nucleonics. Nucleonics is like a little room tucked in the engine room
Fucking
somewhere.
ELTs,
Like,
man.
yeah.
No offense,
So
guys. I know.
like the fact that this guy noticed him, he was just happened to walk around on watch to go read a pressure gauge somewhere or something. Um, yeah. So surface ship, we had a snorkel forever. I can't even remember, dude. It was crazy, and we immediately got him off. So that was
Do you
probably
know
one
what
of the
happened
most
to him?
nerve-wracking times. Oh, I'm sure he got booted. No,
Dude, he
I have
should
no
be
clue.
in prison
Jail,
for that one. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
like
That's more than
Guantanamo Bay.
just
Like we
send
should
him
not
off the
allow
boat.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should not be ever allowed anywhere again. That seems. What was he going to do with the submarine? Joyride it? Like it feels like a complicated thing for one.
No
dude
clue.
to-
I think he was ready to write it down too. Or maybe he knew enough about the chicken switches to pull those and at least get yourself topside. I mean, you could figure out how to open a
And then
hatch.
do like what? You just get chill in the middle of the ocean. Like, be a better criminal.
Yeah.
I don't know. This guy is trying to kill everybody.
So
Man.
does the
See,
snow?
the-
Can't
That's-
put
I
myself
did-
in
I-
his shoes.
Sorry, but I was not expecting this to be like an intentional story. Like the ones that I've had, the experiences I've had, they've all been either just incompetence or accidental.
No,
Like
that
the one
one was
guy tried to
bad.
tear apart the shaft seals in the middle of an underway patrol.
no. We had
Actually, that was
another
your
one
boat.
on the.
That was your
Yeah.
side. Yeah.
That was the Alaska. That was my
That was
other
you.
one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it was our.
It was another
it was
nuke.
Our,
That was like
it was
mechanic.
our stern planes.
Mhm.
Well, we had a.
Oh, you had a
Do
different
you remember
one.
that one?
No.
So we had a stern planes. We had a missing piece. Something broke, and our A ganger again, same one that with the seal situation, the sea lion situation.
Oh.
He discovered this, and he was like the guy that ordered all the parts for A gang.
Yeah,
He's
I,
like,
I,
"We
I
don't
actually
have this."
worked with them in as the RPPO. Yeah.
Hey, I was RPPO too.
Yeah,
in
that's
Virginia.
right. Oh man, that
Yes,
was so
that's where we
nice.
hung out a lot.
Oh,
Dude, I
that's right.
forgot all
That
about
and-
that. That was
That and
I loved that.
I got kicked off of the nuke watch stations because I had something going on. They stuck me on watch with you guys.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember that shit.
Oh, that was
so
the
much fun.
best. Oh, that made getting out like tolerable.
Oh, dude.
It was that.
So
Mm.
there was a missing piece. We didn't have it on board, and essentially the A gang chief said, "If this thing snaps, we're going straight up or straight down. There's no fixing it." So they were trying to radio back and forth to the shore. Well, this is what we're doing. The captain would have to go through and approve everything that radio sent off. Right? He was blacklining everything. I remember the chief showing like our chief and stuff, and like seeing radios blacklining everything that the A gang chief was trying to do. So when we were pulling into port, so we were literally at sea for a month and a half, going like 1 knot to nowhere, dude, because we were afraid
Jesus.
this thing was gonna snap. And on our way back in, and I remember the chief was losing his crap on the captain and was pissed off. And when we were pulling back in that night, we were all told by our division officers and everything. They all came to, when you first pull in and everybody's got to go huddle around before you can go leave and get cut loose.
Yeah.
Said, hey, there's gonna be a lot of people asking questions on the shore. You say defer all questions to your chief or your division officer. We don't talk about anything that happened. Blah 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 blah. And some people didn't even know what the hell we were talking about. Like, what are you
No,
talking
I think
about?
I would prefer to be ignorant on that
Yeah.
one.
And oddly enough, so this captain was supposed to have shore duty somewhere. He got sent to like Israel or Jerusalem or something on shore duty. Ended up being an inspection rider.
Mm-hmm.
Chief, do you remember Chief McInerney, storekeeper Chief McInerney, that we did the RPPO thing?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So he rode the Wyoming with me that
Yeah?
trip where the dude tried to kill us and everything.
Oh, wild.
And the captain, the Alaska's captain, that almost killed us with the screw situation, or bolt, came down as the inspector and came down. I was like, oh my God, that's him. And Chief Mac was standing right there. He's like, oh, hey, Chief Mac, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. He's like, no offense, sir, but you can go f yourself. Sorry, you could edit that out, but
Yeah.
literally said that to the captain.
Wow.
And because
It's like
Chief
an
Mac
06 at
pulled in
yeah.
all that stuff too, because he was the storekeeper.
Yeah, he would
so
have been the
was,
one trying to sign off. Yeah, he would have been the one trying to order the
yeah,
parts for
so
you.
it was a huge thing. So two instances were
What?
yeah.
Yeah, they happen a lot more. That's when he says it's a miracle that we came back. I really like stop and think about it. Like, kind of really is wild.
So when did you two meet? Like, how
When we
did you
combined
combine
cruise,
cruise?
it would have been right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like I said, I was a smoker when I was in the Navy. So Kyle was
Same.
too, and then smoke
Smoke
pit, man.
pit.
That's
Where
where
do you
you
smoke
got
on a
all
sub?
information.
Over by
Can't
the
anymore.
ventilation intake. Yeah,
Are
they
you
probably cut
allowed
that.
to do that?
We had
Only
a,
three at
so
a time.
yeah.
Yeah.
cigars didn't
Those are-
count because the cop smoked a cigar and he didn't want to wait.
Yep.
My man.
You do 3 at a
My
time.
man.
Yeah.
And it would suck too when there was like a drill, and after the drill,
You
all
see
the
my
smokers
humidors
would
in
be
the
lined up.
background.
Oh yeah.
So they started
Just
doing
filled them
piss
up.
tests, and they realized that nicotine was showing up in people's urine that didn't smoke. So obviously we're reventilating. We just didn't scrub it out enough. So they passed a thing where you can't smoke on board anymore. In fact, they were implementing that right as I was going to shore duty.
I just,
You're like, and this is why I left now.
yeah.
So, question on it. So, what's the other stuff? Like, do people dip? Do people, I guess, zen
I
nowadays?
did both. Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely
you
did.
did.
A lot of dip.
A lot of people dipped on watch because you can't smoke on watch. You can't go on smoke breaks.
It's
to
6
watch.
hours of
Like
sitting in
6
one
hours.
spot. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you just, yeah.
And we work on 18-hour days in the sub. Did you guys get
Yeah,
into that?
we-
I don't remember.
yeah.
Yeah, that was the trippiest part.
Did you ever have the
Is
hot
it-
rack?
No.
Lucky.
That was one of the questions I asked Kyle. Like, how bad does that ruin your cycle? Because you're not on the 24-hour. Like, it's almost like there's
100%.
more days for days.
Well, the Wyoming, so it depends. So, like our boat, you did 6 on and 12 off, and
Yeah.
it was whatever. The Wyoming had the weirdest. It was 6 on, 6 off, 6 on, 12 off, 6 on, 6 off, 6 on, 24 off.
What the?
24
What?
hours off on a submarine
That's boring.
is actually
Why?
quite miserable.
Yes.
Oh, dude, you would try to like sleep for as long as you can and watch movies, and you'd still have like 7 hours. You're like, what am I supposed to do?
Did you never get
How-
kicked
was-
out?
What? Like,
No.
like, what would you do for 24 hours on a ship?
Okay.
I
so
watched
the-
a lot
a lot of
episodes.
movies, a lot
Portable
of poker.
DVDs were a big thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of poker, a lot of gambling.
A lot of guys had like you bring an Xbox and you like get a little foot locker that was by your foot in your rack, a little coffin rack, and if you had any sort of semblance of wiring ability, then you'd be able to
Yeah.
basically splice into your lighting system to power your Xbox, so you could actually, while you're laying in your rack, have a monitor pop up in front of you, so you can sit there and play in bed.
A lot of people would work out.
Sick.
Yeah,
They'd work out for a lot. Nat,
workout. Yep.
So, do you guys remember?
I remember Natty.
he's a doctor now, bro.
No kidding.
Well, PhD doctor. Yeah,
Yeah?
he's up in like upstate New York.
Is he still? Oh, okay. I thought he was in Philly still.
Do you guys remember the first time you met? Like, did you just cross paths? Were you coming back
Probably
into
in a
the
smoke
array?
pit.
or-
It had
Kyle's
been,
but
one of
you
those
just, like,
guys that
smoking,
should have been
like-
a coner. Like when you found
Really?
out Kyle was not a nuke, or he was a nuke, you're like, oh, what? You
I
get
never
stuck
really-
back there.
So the nukes, I was thinking about this and I was trying to talk to my wife and explain, like, trying to work out, like, you know, what the difference was. Like, why didn't a lot of the nukes just had this air of superiority because throughout the entire
100%.
career, all they're told is that they're the smartest people in the Navy and everybody else is idiots compared to you. Nobody else knows how to do your job. You're the only thing that matters. And so they get to the boat thinking that they're like king shit. And it's
My
like,
first underway.
yeah, there's smart
Because
people everywhere,
sometimes
man.
they'll hold the nukes back that are really smart to teach, and then
Mm-hmm.
they come out there as like first class petty officers,
Yeah,
like an E6. You're like,
right.
what? So I had this guy come to the boat. He's an E6, had no dolphins on his chest, and I had just gotten my dolphins maybe 2 weeks before that. And we're
Yeah.
walking down Miss Compartment third level. He's like, Larry, clean up that coffee stain on the ground. And
He
I was
told
like,
you that?
yeah. And I was like, why don't you clean it up? And our
Nub?
Cobb was walking by. Cobb Smith, little tiny bald dude.
Yeah.
He's like, Cobb, I asked Larrabee to clean this up, and he told me, he mouthed off. And he's like, oh, Larrabee's got dolphins. You don't, so why don't you fucking clean it up? And he kept walking. I was like,
Yep. See, that's
yeah.
what I loved about
Shoot, that's
submarines,
the.
man. That would never happen on a surface ship.
Oh, when we pulled into Virginia, we had the George Washington was a carrier. Do you remember that? They
Yeah,
were
when
lined up, and I was the dude that had to give tours, dude. I was
You
giving
were.
tours.
Ah.
And I remember I was walking down and Senior Chief Lars whacked me in the nuts and like I kind of hit him back and all these surface guys are standing at attention and they're like, dude, you just hit a Senior Chief in the nuts. I was like, that's Scott,
Yeah,
dude.
he hit me
Like,
back.
that's a good guy. It's different down there.
No, there was one in Hawaii when we pulled in there where carrier they were doing like a trash line, getting everything off, and you know how officers, chiefs, everybody
Mhm.
gets in line for those to hump trash off the boat. They sent their cob down to talk to our cob to tell us that they couldn't have their sailors see chiefs working with enlisted guys because it sets a bad example. And when our
Oh my
cob told them to
God.
F off, he went and grabbed everybody from topside on that carrier and took them all down below decks until we were done.
Oh, that's
Different
funny.
different
Wow,
mentality
I
down
could
there,
not have
man.
survived on a surface ship, man.
No. No.
What made you? When did you decide that it was time to leave the service?
So it was Navy's dumb. So when you pass these exams, they say, "Oh, good job, you finished in the 99th percentile, but we don't need that many of you at this rank, so you're gonna stay at your rank." And sonar was locked up at that point. I was passing all these. It took me like 4 years to make second class, and I passed it every single time, and I finally made it, and it was
Oh,
the
God,
same
that's
thing
right.
going on up.
Yeah.
And I was just over it, man. And like I said, I was ready to join the Navy. I'd gotten to shore duty finally. I was back home. My shore duty was in San Diego. It was
Oh,
like cake
nice.
shore duty. Literally nothing to do with submarines or it was on the sub base, but I was the ceremonies and base preservation guy. Like
Oh,
Nice.
that's kind of cool.
go, yeah. Hey, you go set up for a ceremony, or hey, you go paint that curb. And I just sat there and did nothing. It was the best. But they tried to send me to Guantanamo Bay, and that's when I almost lost my shit.
Really?
I had worked so hard for those shore duty orders. I stayed an extra year on the boat to ride them from Virginia down to Georgia and I stayed in Georgia for a year. I was supposed to get off once we got to Georgia and go shore
That's
duty.
always my worst nightmare is getting my deployment extended or something like
Yep.
that.
Dude, I was there for 2 months, and they're like, "Oh, we need you to go to Gitmo to be an armed security guard." I was like, "Listen, I joined the Navy because I got shot in the butthole on a paintball course. Like, I can't be around real guns. You know what I mean?
Right.
And now you're gonna go send me to be gate guards or prisoners of war, wherever the hell we're doing out there."
Right.
And I found a loophole. Well, if you fail PRTs, then you can't go. Well, I had a bum shoulder, and it's still all messed up. It pops like crazy, and I got that from the Navy doing torpedo loads and stuff. And so I always sat out the push up portion on the shore
Yeah.
duty because I couldn't do it, and that was enough to classify me as like failing 3 PRTs. So or 1 PRT in a year period, and
Yeah.
didn't have to go. I was like, sweet.
Nice.
So I got out, man, and I was like, I'm gonna use my GI Bill. Use my
Yeah, I was
GI Bill.
interested in that because you mentioned that a little earlier. So you get out. You departed in. I'm assuming you were in San Diego when you departed.
Yep. So I got out. My ex and I would already split, and my daughter was like 3 at the time. I was a week from getting out, going to a Packer Charger game. That's where I met my current wife. And I was like, you know what? I figured I'd work at my dad's construction company or something like that. Oh, fun story. So my first patrol, when I was out to sea, I come back in and I go to call John, And I was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, dude, have you gone out to sea?" Because he got orders back home to San Diego on a fast
Right.
boat. He's like,
Oh
"Oh man,
no.
I'm not in the Navy anymore." And I was
What?
like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, dude. Turns out I'm allergic to amine. So, and that's
What?
the chemical we use to make oxygen
Yeah.
on board. So they
Wait,
gave him the
what?
option. They gave him the option of going shore duty, surface, or get out. He's like, "I'll get out." And so he
Huh.
got out. So I joined because Jake, and he went
Yeah.
submarines. And then I joined with John to go submarines. And I'm the only bastard that ever went out to sea on a
Right.
submarine, fulfilled my submarine contract, and then some. So I was
You
pretty pissed by that
fulfilled it for
point.
them too.
Yeah. So I got out and I was like, well, maybe I could work with John, because at that time I think he had like a sign company with his parents' real estate thing. And my wife now, we were dating. She's like, no, just go back to school, use your GI Bill. You said you would. She filled out all my paperwork for me. You'd think I'd learned something, but I hated paperwork.
I fucking
In the Navy, they make everything hard. Anything that you get as far as monetarily or any kind of benefits is like jumping hurdles.
yeah.
So I finally did that and started going back to community college at first, and then I went to University of Nevada up there in
Oh, that's
Reno
awesome.
and started working at the veterans department there. So I was the dude certifying people for classes. So I got to work
Okay.
as a GI Bill and doing that stuff and work in the veterans department. Um, then that's when my wife we were going for engineering, and then
Mhm.
because I was like, oh, chemical engineering, they make a lot of money,
Yeah.
and chemistry was cool in high school. I didn't realize engineering chemistry is a hell of a lot harder.
Yeah, it's
Plus, you
just
finally
mathematics.
understand how ammonia works.
Yeah, a little bit, right? And so that didn't work out, and I was like, I'll do mechanical, and then that didn't work out, and then I was like, I'll do computer science, and that also didn't work out. So hence, being 18 and doing this, you're just pissing money away, and now I'm 26 at that time, pissing money away or GI Bill money because you only get a certain amount. Um, so I ended up just doing math, and she was doing
Awesome.
math with me, and then at the very last, she's like, I think I want to be a doctor, and I was like, what? Like we're doing math. So she started doing like pre-med stuff. So I found out Voc Rehab. So if you have a disability, there's Voc Rehab program. So I delve into it. And now that I know all this, I like educate people that I meet. In fact, I got in a conversation with some dude at Lambeau Field during a Packer game, letting him know. And he still writes me. And this was almost 8 years ago. He used his GI Bill, took my advice, and got his Voc Rehab, and now has his whatever.
Awesome, dude.
So did that and got another bachelor's while I was waiting for her. So I ended up getting 2 bachelor's degrees using the GI Bill
So what are the bachelor's degrees? Mathematics and
and then communications, just something because it was already my
right,
minor.
it's
So
complete
I was like,
opposite ends of the
yeah,
spectrum there.
I'll make it my major. And
Right.
then when we moved to
awesome.
Texas, we moved to San Antonio because her uncle's a surgeon out there. And she's like, oh, maybe I could shadow him. And med schools are cheap out there. And then she called me. I was working with some physical therapy place, like as a counselor, putting people in physical therapy classes or something. And she's like, hey, there's this lady. She'll meet you at Panera Bread. You get a free lunch out of it. But she's interviewing for this program. It's an executive MBA program. And I was like, I'm good. I just
Hmm.
got done doing the 2 bachelors. It's like 2 months removed from that. She's like, there's only like 30 people that get accepted. You're fine. Just go.
Yeah.
Free lunch. And I was like, all right.
Nice.
So I went and I told this lady my story, and she's like, we want to have you here at Purdue. And I was like, "Are you
Dude, that's awesome.
so $85,000, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Voc
Yeah.
Rehab. So I tried doing that, and the Voc Rehab lady was like, nope, sorry, blah 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 blah. And I was reading everything, man. That whole manual, I highlighted it, and this physical therapy place ended up sending me to Vegas for a conference, and I was still out of the Reno, Nevada, Las Vegas. Nevada's so small that Reno ends up being Las
Yeah.
Vegas people, but my counselor is based in Las Vegas. I freaking took an Uber to the VA place that she worked at. And I was like, I want you to see me face to face instead of just an email that comes across with me harassing you. Like,
Right.
this is me. I have 4 kids at the time. Like, I have 4 kids. Like, I'm not, like, this is where I fall into it. I've highlighted every place that I qualify for this. And so she took it up and whatever. And she's like, if you get accepted to this program, yeah, we'll pay for it. And got accepted. They paid for it. But, like,
It's awesome.
just goes to
dude.
show you, man, you got to fight.
You gotta fight for yourself, though.
So
for
you went to
anything.
the
Yeah.
you went to the you joined the the Navy because you didn't know what you wanted to do in school. So you took a practical approach. You learned how to operate, incredibly advanced computer systems, got some crazy stories out of it, turned that into a bachelor's degree in science, a bachelor's degree in communications, and a effing MBA from Purdue, like one of the most prestigious universities. And now, what do you do today, Matt?
So I work I'm business development for a software company, which is kind of embarrassing if you saw me setting this stuff up earlier. But John, my best friend, ended up
Yeah.
getting a job with this company, and he was their
Did they let you do the buddy program?
Yeah, essentially. It
They
pretty
honor
much
it.
now it's me and then our other best friend too. But he was their one business development guy and took him from like $1 million company to a $10 million company, and they moved him up into an ownership role, and then he's brought me on board, and so it's just like we brought our other buddy on board. So I go to like 15 conferences a year throughout the country, and we hang out and
Dude, that's
wine and dine
wild.
clients and
They need
and
a
my wife.
podcaster?
No. But my wife, she was, single stay-at-home mom when I met her, and in the parking lot of that Packer game, and that's what brought us out to Michigan. So she's in a residency program. She's an ER physician
Dude, it's
here
wild.
in
You,
Michigan, in Grand Rapids.
you told me where you're at. My daughter, or my wife's youngest, she's taking her boyfriend to go up there right in your town. They're doing their family reunion. So we were trying to
Really?
decide if we're going to crash that. I don't think we're going to make it up for this one, but it sounds like we might be up
Oh,
in your neighborhood before too
hey,
long.
man, anytime. I was
Yeah.
actually in Chicago. We picked up, we brought in an exchange student for the year. So he
Okay.
flew into O'Hare actually a week ago
Do you
today.
wave at the station the USO where we were hanging out when we first
No,
checked
I
in
was
there so
actually
long
the
ago?
international tournament, but dude, when I go through O'Hare a lot because Grand Rapids always
Yep.
connects through there, and I see those poor bastards.
I
Dude,
see him
I
up there
know.
and
I'm
I
like,
wave.
you've got no clue. But it's been good, man. The benefits I got from it, again, I would have never been able to own a house. I own a house because of the VA bill.
Yeah.
The VA whatever, the home loan. So I've got my house in California. Luckily, the physicians have a similar thing. So our house here in Michigan on my wife's physician loan. So
Right.
two houses for, a degenerate that never thought he would amount to anything, honestly. And it's all military, man. It's just that structure that knows the grindstone that, and then we were in a unique position that I think we had to endure a lot more than other people. You know, you ask people what their favorite time on the surface ship, and they're always, "Oh man, those stars out in the middle of nowhere." And it's
Right.
like, "What's your favorite time on the sub?" It's like,
Well, there's one
honestly,
time I
the
saw
smoke pit.
stars.
In the
Smoke
smoke
pit
pit,
was
man, sitting and just talking and
poker night.
relating with people, because that's all you get. That's all you get to do. You'd meet some people on carriers, they've never met each other in the 5 years they've been on board the
Right?
same ship.
Man, I knew
So,
everything about the guys I stood watch with. It was
Everything.
6 hours out of every 18. That's all you're doing is talking. You
Remember
know
the dude whose wife
everything.
was running a prostitute ring in Bangor while we were out to sea?
Yeah, I do
Wait,
remember
He
Bangor
was on the
that.
Bay?
Wyoming. He was
Yeah.
on the
Oh, that was the
Wyoming.
Wyoming. That was the one with
No,
the
he was on
Tide bottles, right?
Alaska. Yes, he was on the
Yeah.
Alaska, and he got kicked off the Alaska. When I went to ride the Wyoming, there he is,
God.
sonar tech, and I'm like, bro, still married to her.
Oh my God.
But I digress.
I'll let Eric wrap
Yeah.
this thing up because I think he's probably got to take his insulin shot here soon.
All right. So the final question that I always like I asked Kyle, and I always like this question to ask anybody in the service, even in private conversation, is what would you tell somebody who's looking to join the service or even specifically become a submariner?
It's tough. Yeah, man. Honestly, I think I highlighted a few of those things. Is definitely talk to somebody that's been in there or at least knows of it. If you know one veteran, they know somebody that knows somebody or anything like that. Because getting all the information up front, I think, is key. Because just like picking your job for the rest of your life, I picked. I didn't know what I was picking essentially, but when I got out, sonar techs, I think the best thing that they can say would equate would be air traffic controlment.
Hmm.
Right,
Oh,
and so that's
wow.
another thing that obviously requires more schooling and stuff like that. And but I would say that, and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. You have those people that want to do it for life, and by all means go in there and do it. But then you have the people that want to do it to get schooling and do schooling, and that never end up doing that. They get out and they never do the schooling, they never get it done. It's harder to do it on a submarine because you can't really do it underway or anything like that, but utilize the benefits because
Yeah, I never
it's
did.
crazy. I'm only where I'm at because of the benefits.
Yeah.
100%.
That's amazing. I mean, Matt, I feel like we could, and maybe we should even do a roundup show afterwards. But it was an incredible journey that you outlined, and I think talking about somebody who again starts off, I'm not sure what I want to do. The first captain you ran to, you could put in a bottle, going all the way to a Purdue MBA
Right.
is
Right.
just, it's incredible, and I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong here, Matt, but do you credit the Navy with a lot of that success?
100%. But the Navy for
Besides
giving me
your
like
own motivation.
no,
still
my
did it,
wife.
yeah.
Honestly, if my wife didn't push me to even go back to school, I would have never utilized those benefits. So, and again, like just knowing that you're gonna get hurdles, and they're always gonna tell you no. I feel like with the military, they always tell you no up front, and you just gotta
Yeah.
keep pushing. But 100%, I wouldn't have the house. I wouldn't have the work ethic I have. That attention to detail. I can't attention to detail. I hated how much I heard it, and I'm sure my kids hate how much I say it to them. But I can't harp on that more. I think everybody would just be better off if they paid a little bit more.
That's excellent.
Well, I think we got through. We should have a pretty decent amount here after I've cut out all the stuff that has to get cut out. Matt, I really want to thank you for opening up with this, man. Is there I don't know, any last words you want to leave us with? Any final thoughts?
No, I really appreciate you opening this up and doing that for them. Like I said, there's a lot of people that may have those questions that just don't know, and if it hits the right audience, it's cool. And just to be able to talk about it again, just remembering, I totally forgot about those RPO days, but those were some of the
Right?
best days that I had in the Navy. And
Boxing on we're supposed to be standing. What were we doing? I think
exactly.
it's just a duty day. I think we just
Yeah,
found a
yeah.
pair of
Our duty
boxing gloves
days.
in an
Yeah,
office and started beating each other up.
we'd had rounds. Yeah. Oh God, that was so stupid.
Ugh.
But yeah, it was fun, man. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the questions. That's what I told Kyle right off the bat. Is like, your enthusiasm and interest is actually like, it makes it fun to talk about.
Right?
Yeah,
Some people
yeah,
want to
just-
ask like the generic question. Are there windows? What did you see? But you're like,
How'd you get onto
involved, dude?
submarine? That's the
Yeah.
one I don't. That's the thing that's hard for you to understand. Like that wasn't that hard. That was.
no, but
A different mentality, right? If you don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
kids, I can't imagine now.
Oh,
If I had my
God.
my family now and going underway, but people are like, how'd you do it? I was like, I don't know. You close the hatch. That's all you've got.
Yeah,
You
it's
just make
just-
the best of it.
I
you
think
know?
part of it was just accepting what you're going to do. Once you can accept what you're going to be doing, once you accept that this is your life, then it
Those
just
first
becomes that
is
much
like
easier.
the first week suck, and then like
Yep.
2 weeks, and then there's that period where it really hit, and then halfway night you're like, okay, but then you realize like, oh shoot, it's only halfway. I still have to do all this again. But it was never halfway because you always got extended.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Your tube girls would go back down.
Yeah, that was always the worst.
All right.
Alright.
Well, I just want to say again, Matt, Kyle, thank you for giving me the opportunity to join you on this conversation, and again, thank you. I know everybody in the service hates this, but I mean it sincerely. But thank you for your service. I mean, it's amazing how 100% of the Liberty relies on 1% of the population doing the work,
Yeah.
and so just thank you again. And I look, be honest with you, I look forward to talking to you again. I think this is a great
Likewise.
conversation. I'm sure there's many more stories we can pry out of you.
I think
Absolutely, man.
I think if you anybody that you know that wants to do one of these, anybody that you served with, I'd love to get somebody who's more recently gotten out because I'd love to just have a conversation about how everything's changed.
Oh,
That's not
100%.
like I don't know how you can do it with phones today. Like we didn't have the attachment that you have to your phone like,
True.
today.
True.
Like,
Yeah. cell
locking
phones
yourself
don't really
underway,
much-
that'd be
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah,
yeah, I'll reach out. I got a lot of people and stuff like that. So
yeah, we'll see if I can get Corey out here. I think he's the next guy I want to reconnect with. And plus,
Right on.
he served I think he did 20 years, so he probably has a lot more stories he can tell us.